Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy. As always, here with my husband, Noel. He's back there running our cameras and doing our graphics. Good morning, Southern Charm. How are you? Hello, I love discounts. Olga, Keith, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. So, what's up, you guys? How was your July 4th weekend? Forgotten memories. Good morning. We are going to do our chat and sell seller support today. And so it's open for any questions. I have a couple of topics as usual. On Mondays, I typically will recap the podcast a little bit, but I kind of want to go in a little bit different direction. Midwest Keepsakes, thank you so much. Gettysburg was pretty cool. So y'all, I'm trying to figure out the most politically correct way to say this. Weird to have you on. You're on. Yeah, I'm on your team. That's a whole lot of me first thing on a Monday morning. God bless you, because that's a lot of me to take on one morning. Thank you so much, away we go vintage. You guys, I do not know why every day, every morning, my eye waters like I'm crying, and I'm not really. Good morning, Own It Now. So Gettysburg was good. The 4th of July brings out, it's like watching the people of Walmart at a park. It was just a little bit different. It was fun. It was wonderful. We had a great time. It wasn't as special as I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I had in my head that 4th of July, 250th anniversary in Gettysburg, good morning, Camel Toe, was going to be like magical. It was 4th of July fireworks. I mean, it was great. The fireworks were wonderful, but I don't know. It just wasn't as magical. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know. Maybe if I was younger, I would think it was more special. We had a great time, though. We have, ever since my kids were real little, we've had a tradition of getting ice cream. You get your ice cream, you watch the fireworks. So we did that. Nashville was crazy. Oh, that's cool. Now I would love to see fireworks in Nashville. I've watched fireworks on the top of a mountain in Gatlinburg before, but never Nashville. You missed a podcast because that's a good reason to miss the podcast. To always put your shows first. 100% always put your shows first. So I would never ask you not to do a show to come to the podcast. And Thunder Overlook. Oh, no. That's sad. It was raining for us on and off for fireworks. Good morning, the Vintage Gypsy Brie. Washington, D.C. when you were a kid. Now that would be pretty cool. I think that would be kind of something special. We kind of cheated. So we get there, we brought our lawn chairs, and no, they are that good. Okay. So, well, cool. That's awesome. Probably one of my favorite topics, y'all. Last night was a favorite topic. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. So don't go nowhere this morning, Forgotten Memories. We took our lawn chairs. It was me and Zoe and my son, and we walked down into the park. All the people that had food trucks, got our ice cream, did that, sat there, and it started drizzling. And we're like, we could see the fireworks from the truck in the parking lot, and we're all looking at each other, and we're like, let's go. So we went and we put the chairs on the bed of the truck, and we sat in the parking lot on the bed of the truck. Not many people around us, so it was kind of nice, kind of quiet, and we had the perfect show. And it did rain a little bit. We just pulled out our umbrellas. We were fine, but it was a good 4th of July. So hopefully everybody came through safely and no accidents this 4th of July. That always freaks me out. I'm always one of those people that are freaked out by like people setting off their own fireworks. It's that whole mom in me that I'm like, don't touch it. So you were at Penn State for the fireworks visiting some friends. That sounds like fun. So, all right, you guys. And if you had something really cool, going back to New York today. So I think fireworks in New York might be kind of cool. I saw some Facebook videos of people who are stuck on a bridge watching fireworks like over the skyline of New York. And I'm like, now that's a pretty sight right there. I'm not a city girl, but seeing the Facebook post, I'm like, that's pretty cool. That would look really good. So we talked about the 4th. You guys, tonight, I'm really excited. You know what tonight is? Kickoff of the CEO Challenge Showcase. So we have 8 participants. They are all listed in the show notes. So if you want to follow them, please do so. we are having our first showcase tonight. So tonight is getting to meet them. Josie, there's Josie. She's one of our participants. Swan and Thistle, I see you up there. So anybody else, if you are a participant, feel free anytime I talk about the CEO Challenge to throw your emojis in there, or whatever else in the chat, so people know who you are. He is so stuck on soccer. We're trying to do our podcast last night, and he kept talking about soccer. Melinda's time capsule is right there. I Love Discounts. There's Swan and Thistle. I Love Discounts is our season 2 co-host, so they're going to be joining me at 8:30. I will be co-hosting them, where we're going to do a recap and say what went well, what are some areas of improvement. Soccer is boring. The whole time during the podcast, he's over here with the soccer game on, and I'm like, this is so distracting. But of course, Mexico lost, which I had to give him a hard time about. Josie, I don't know. Did I not type it right? Honey, go look at our show notes. Can you see why Josie's name, it should be highlighted? Maybe I didn't type it right. Did I put an and sign? It could just be completely my mistake. I did. I have no idea, Josie. So I am excited about tonight too, Swan and Thistle. So you guys, I'll be sending all the participants a message, but be there. You get to meet the participants, hear what metric they chose, get to start following along on their journey. Tickets, Forgotten Memories. Yep, that is next on my list. So you guys, tickets are finally available for the PA meetup. We have everything solidified. Forgotten Memories got ticket number 1. Look at that. I'm going to pin it. Do we watch here or on their page? It's going to be on their page. We're going to start here with me, and we're going to do it in raid train style. So if you come here and see me at 6:15, we'll raid into the first person, then they'll raid until 8:30, where it comes back to me, and I'll co-host I Love Discounts. So I've just pinned it. PA meetup tickets. We have them. I am charging for them. They are $28. That covers what you get for your $28 is you get to go there. The event, the venue, I got the cheapest venue, but I am having to deliver a check to them today. So I am putting the cost up front. Don't get nervous, Josie. You're going to do wonderful. I know you will. So it is covering a portion of the venue cost. You will have a continental breakfast. So for those of you who are like, okay, what exactly is continental? We're going to have like fruits and pastries and coffee and juices. So you'll have a light continental breakfast. There'll be waters and coffees throughout the day, and then the lunch will be provided also. The event goes from 9 to 3. The morning is going to be educational breakout groups, panel discussions. So there's some learning, there's some networking, and then the afternoon is open for free networking. Good morning, the Aaron Sphere and the Polish Picker, Brandy. Hello. So there'll be a ton of networking. It is open to buyers and sellers. Anybody 13 and over basically needs a ticket. So under 13, I would assume they're attending with an adult and not by themselves. They're fine if they're under 13. The reason we did that is because if I am correct, and I may be wrong, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, 13 is the age you are allowed to sell with a parent on Whatnot. So we could have sellers that are of the teenager sellers. So we did want to open it up and if you are a seller of that age. So that's what it is. We have some guest speakers already. I've talked about it. Green 13 is going to be there. I Love Discounts is going to be there. Dragonfly Neen is going to be there. Those are our 3 main speakers. I will be speaking. So we're going to start it off with a general session. We'll have some breakouts. We'll come back for another general session. And then we'll do some networking. Of course, there'll be some type of, like get to know you type game or something like that in there. And just some other fun stuff. We're working on just some fun surprises and stuff. And if you attend and you want to bring stickers or goodies to pass out to people, you are more than welcome to bring anything, any type of marketing material that you want, as long as it's appropriate. And that's it. I mean, it's all the normal stuff. Do you have stage fright? You do not have stage fright. That is the last thing I think you have. You are so outgoing.
Good morning, everybody. I couldn't say anything because she was on a roll. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Sean. So I am hoping to see all of you there. Please, please, please pass the word. The only way that we're going to get this filled up is if all of us are talking about it. So if you're in PA, near PA, or you're just going and you're like, heck, I'm going to travel and come up and meet everybody. When you have shows, I just ask that you mention it. Tickets are going to always be available. I'm going to have them in all of my shows. And I think if you just search them and whatnot, it'll pop up too. And it is that listing right there. And I am putting tickets through Whatnot. I really gave this a lot of thought. I know there's a fee charged. It is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, October 3rd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's all the information. On my website has the exact address. You will need a ticket to get in. We will be checking tickets at the door, not tickets, but checking a list, because we'll have name tags and stuff like that already set for you guys. You are not, Josie. Do not worry about that at all. So I'm super excited about it. It's going to be fun. We hopefully have little surprises. But what else was I saying? Oh, all the normal rules apply to this meetup. Oh, I was talking about the money too. All the normal rules apply. There's going to be no alcohol there, mainly because we are renting a community center space. So no alcohol, only service animals allowed, like registered service animals. So all the normal stuff. And the reason I'm doing it through Whatnot, it is not so that I can show more sales. It is not so I can pump my numbers up. It is 100% so that it is on board. I'm not asking anybody to leave the platform to exchange money in any way, shape, or form. So I was very adamant when I was thinking through this on what is the safest way for buyers, or for people who are going to participate and want to buy a ticket, and for me. This way we both instantly get a receipt. There's some fees involved. Yes, there is. I can't avoid that. But I'm also really worried about taking stuff off platform. Yes, my love. He's fun to have a whole conversation. I'm like, I'm doing a show here. We're doing a show. Okay. So that's the whole reason we're doing it here. I just want to make sure it's on the up and up and that there's no perceptions of me taking anything off platform. I also feel a little weird being like, oh, Venmo me. I just kind of feel odd about that. And I'm not throwing shade on anybody who does a meetup like that. Whoever does meetup, it's their own choice. You know me, I'm a rule follower. I want to make sure we're good. So that's that. But I know I'm doing it a little bit different than I think other people have. So I felt I should explain a little bit. So that's that. Any questions about the meetup, please feel free to message me at any time. It is 11 miles from the Harrisburg airport, and there are hotels around there. So hopefully it's convenient for everybody. Y'all, I've got another announcement. Tomorrow. So, I've added on the I Spy shows, the I Spy vintage shows, which is completely random pull vintage. Well, yeah, random pulls. I don't pre-list anything. We are going to free shipping on Tuesdays. So we are going to free shipping, back to free shipping. Those of you may have good morning, Eve Jackpiece, that months ago, a little bit last year, I did 6 months of free shipping on all of my shows. I would love to get back to a point of that. So we're going to pick one show, and we're picking Tuesdays. And I'm going to be really transparent because we talk a lot about business theory here and marketing and branding and all that good stuff. Tuesdays is a brand new show to me. I've only been doing it for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks, something like that. Pretty new. I want to build it up. I want to increase people who are coming, increase people who are buying. I also want to increase my average order value on those shows. One way to do that is to reduce shipping. I know there's two sides of the fence here, and a lot of people are like, no, charge full price, people will pay it. I don't believe that, and everybody needs to make their own choice. And I believe you doing free shipping on those shows will help to achieve what I'm trying to do with that show. So using the tools that are available to us to meet your goals. That's what I'm doing with this free shipping. How do I do free shipping and not lose my, what? Good question. So like I said, I did free shipping for 6 months. I Love Discounts has done free shipping, so they can also pitch in on their advice on this one too. Jeremy at Green 13 does free shipping. And I know you kind of like, oh, all your podcast buddies. It is true. We do kind of have some similar beliefs because they work. The way we do it, last time I did free shipping, it cost me approximately 30% of my profit. So $3 out of every 10 or $30 out of every 100 was going to cover shipping. However, when I did free shipping, I had the highest grossing months in sales that I ever have had on Whatnot was when I was doing free shipping. The sales I made outweighed the cost that I was spending at that time. So there's also some other trade-offs. Now, the bad side about it is, you ask me why. So that's one reason why. The lower you go in shipping, the more money people have to actually spend on your items. They're not spending it on shipping, they're spending it on your items. I talk a lot about removing barriers to buying. When I think about, I want people to buy more of my stuff on Tuesdays. I want my prices to go higher on Tuesdays. I want my average order value to increase. What can I do to help that? Well, if you're not spending money on shipping, that frees up, even if it's $1, $2 to $9 or $10, money to put on my items instead of shipping. So that's one way that you can increase your average order value. There's many ways. That's just one of them. So it does help increase sales. The other side of it is, it brings more people into your room. You get a free shipping banner. We are creatures of habit, and we like to save money. It does bring more people into your room. There, look at Eve Jack says, I've tried max shipping several times, and my customers do spend more. It is a proven technique. I know there's two sides of the story, but I'm going to stick with what I believe in, and I think everybody needs to make their own decision. Single purchases aren't as detrimental for decor, which is downside of small. Yes and no for Got Memories. I was just about to touch on that. That is part of the reason why I went away from free shipping before, is when you remove barriers to buying, it makes it really easy. I'm doing free shipping and dollar starts on Tuesdays from now on. That's a pretty low barrier. It's really hard for buyers to say, no, I don't want that free shipping dollar starts. No, that's too expensive. That doesn't exist. It's a very easy yes for people to commit to, right? So just that easy yes, removing those barriers helps to cover that cost. However, that has the flip side of it. Because it's such an easy yes, you do get a lot of people that buy one item. If you buy one item and it's a higher value item, that's great. The shipping naturally gets absorbed in the cost of that item. It's okay. When you buy one item and it costs $5, I'm running a risk. I'm starting it at $1. There is zero guarantee that anything's going to be bid up past $9.21 currently, right? So that's when I lose money. And you look at, and you can't just look at each individual item. You got to look at it across the board, and you look at averages for the whole show. Some items I'm going to be paying for. Some items I'm going to be paying for people to take from me. Other items I'm going to be making that money up on. What does that do for me as a seller? In my head, I'm like, okay, to combat that, what do I need to do? Bring higher quality items. If I don't want $5 bids, I need to bring stuff that is worth far more than $5, $10, $15, right? So that's kind of the thinking behind when you go into something like that. It's not for everybody. I'm by no means am saying everybody needs to do this. And I'm not doing it for all of my shows. The rest of my shows are still $4.50 shipping. And right now that's where it's going to stay. But for this one show on Tuesdays, we will do free shipping. You do get a free shipping banner. So when you do seller pays all shipping, instead of reduced on your thumbnail, it will say free. So if you look at my thumbnails right now, if you go to my shows, you will see my chat shows. On Fridays are usually free shipping. This one's $4.50 because I'm selling stuff, but tomorrow's show will show free. My thinking, hold on, was there's already common in that category and they weren't dollar single items like we had. No, it's actually, it's almost a little bit, I don't want to say harder for Got Memories, but when you're doing vintage decor, if I sell something for $1 that's less than a pound, that's not so bad. I'm paying $4.70 something for shipping. But if I sell one thing that's over a pound and I get less than $10 and I lose money on every one of those items, that is a risk you're taking. There is nothing you're going to do in business that doesn't have some degree of risk. You have to decide what is your tolerance for the risk. How much risk are you willing to take? I just tried $9.21 for the first time and literally just paid $87 out of my pocket because the buyer lives in California and I live in Florida, flat rate. How was it $87 for a flat rate box? Something is not adding up there. Something's not right with that. If it's a flat rate box, if it was up to 70 pounds, it should have been $9.21. Do you think you need to have a certain amount of followers before you start the combo of $1 and free shipping? No, I don't say a certain amount of followers. I would not recommend reduced and or free shipping or even dollar starts right out of the gate. Your followers and your buyers are two completely different things. I get a decent amount of people in my chat shows. My selling shows have about half of what my chat shows have. So it's not like I have hundreds of people coming to my shows. And even when I was doing free shipping before, I didn't have hundreds of people. Did it increase the number of people? 100%. There it is. I Love Discounts said it right there. You beat me to it. I was getting there. I was taking the long road there. You do need a baseline of data, like I Love Discount says. You shouldn't just go into this blindly. If you don't already have financials done, if you're not already looking at your financial data, if you're not checking your analytics already on a regular basis and understand what shipping is costing you immediately, what your average order value is, what are the buying habits of the people that are buying from you, if you don't understand that already, I would never recommend you doing reduced, free, and or dollar starts. Those are things that you really need to get a grasp on before you start anything. So if you're looking at reduced shipping, and I'm not even going to say free shipping because a lot of people just aren't going to go there. But if you're looking at reduced shipping, you should totally be able to look back at your last 3 or 4 shows and understand what did shipping cost in total. 100%, what did your buyers pay? We're about 40 to 55% going shipping because we had so many single. Yes, the single items is kind of what gets you. So if you're looking at reduced, go to your last 3 or 4 shows, figure out exactly what they're paying, and then do a little bit of math. Say, okay, here's on average how many orders I ship out at $9.21 or whatever it is. If I were to offer reduced shipping, here's how much overages I would have had to pay, and understand that. Then you're immediately going to say, oh man, all that money has to come out of my pocket. Well, then you start factoring in, okay, if I do reduce, that's going to encourage people to buy more. So some of that's going to be offset. The other side of this is, how many people do giveaways? When flat rate disappears, is it too soon to tell? Best kept secret, I'll tell you, because I don't rely on flat rate. That's not part of my business model, which is our own fault. Need higher value items. I'm just getting started on Whatnot, but we own another business, so understanding taking. There you go. So you totally get risk. So you're like ahead of a lot of people already. Beth, I'm going to answer your question. Okay, so we have a couple of people give giveaways, some don't. A lot of people will say, oh, I can't afford to do reduced shipping because I do giveaways. How much are you spending in giveaways? Who's benefiting more? One person getting a giveaway or everybody in your room getting the opportunity to take advantage of reduced shipping? So start thinking about where you're spending money in other places. What about not just giveaways? What about dropping things in people's boxes? That costs money. What if you, instead of trickling money out in all these other places, started taking that and funneling it into ways that helps increase your sales? Because I'll tell you what, you dropping stuff in people's boxes, it is sweet, it is kind, it makes some people smile and makes some people happy. But one, not everybody likes it. And two, it's not encouraging a higher average order value for you. Because somebody got something in a box does not mean they're going to come back and spend more money with you. However, if they have reduced shipping, that encourages them to spend more money with you. So think about that marketing money you're spending. How could that be put into better use that actually encourages more money for you? Do you use those bonus items, giveaways and such? So I am doing giveaways, but we are actually, as part of going to this free shipping, reducing our giveaways. So I do CEO affirmation cards. These are cards that we designed. They go along with my Friday talks and they go in a plain white envelope. I used to do about 10 a show. We are actually reducing that amount. You'll see I only have 5 listed today and we may not run all of them. And that will be decreasing throughout the year. So we are reducing the amount of giveaways. All right, Beth, I'm going to answer your question because I don't want to forget, and then I'll get to these other questions. So your question was, how do you think this will look for you when flat rate disappears? So one, my business isn't built on flat rate. If it fits in a flat rate box, I use it because they're free. I am not a proponent for people giving me free boxes. If they're there, I will use them. But I think businesses need to be prepared to purchase their own boxes. And actually, in vintage decor, and this is what I suggest for everybody to do no matter what category you're in. In vintage decor, 95% of the things I ship are between 1 and 5 pounds. 95% or over, but if it's over, I can break it into 1 to 5 pound boxes. The 1 to 5 pound rate is going down by $2 a box, $2 a shipment. It's going from $9.21 to $7.20. It's actually going to save me money. The rate reducing is going to save me money. So I don't see it being detrimental to my business whatsoever. Let's see. Who's next here? I'm sorry. What are you? Okay. I'm trying to reduce the amount of giveaways too. I have some made just in case I get rates. So let's talk about rate. Let's kind of just go down that path real quick. I see some other questions. Crystals, I see you're next. I'm not ignoring you. Is a giveaway the most effective thing for a raid? My opinion is no. You do what you want. My opinion is no. People aren't going to stay for 5 minutes to. What are you giving away? What is it that you give away when somebody raids you? Just curious. Because you know what? Nobody's staying for a CEO card. And I'm not giving away anything bigger. No, that's not. If I get a raid and I say, oh, look, we're doing a CEO pack, nobody's going to be happy about that. Run $1. There you go. The polished picker. Run something for $1. You have a chance of making money. They're happy that they get a chance to save money on something. A win-win for everybody involved. Chubby Bucks. Yep. So Chubby Bucks is giving a coupon for the show, for something for free in the show. Let me go back up here and look at these comments really quick. So we talked about adding bonus items, giveaways, and such. I don't add bonus items. I actually just found an old bag of little ducks. I used to give little ducks. I was cleaning out my storage and I found a bag, so I'll put those in just because they've been sitting in storage for 1.5 years now. And I just found them. But no, I do not put all those extras in there. I give you, on Tuesday's shows, free shipping. On the rest of my shows, $4.50 shipping, which is cheaper than just about everybody else on Vintage at this point, and dollar start. So I feel that I'm giving up front to everybody who comes into my room gets the same opportunity to get something. And then Crystal says, I'm doing reduced shipping, but use flat rate option to control my cost. Not sure how that will work when they change the shipping. Crystals, totally agree. That's why I'm looking at my numbers every week and trying to figure out where the best shipping settings will be. And it may be a little bit of trial and error when August 1st comes. Midwest Keepsake says, are you reducing giveaways because of the cost of the item or the cost of the 78-cent shipping? Or both reasons. My money, that the cost of the item and the 78-cent shipping is better spent on doing my free shipping on Tuesdays than it is to give it away here. I'm still doing a few of them. I still have stock. I'm going to get rid of that stock. We're just going to do it in a lot more cost-effective way by doing less of them while we move forward. And I do not do any other type of givey unless I'm on a raid train that requires it. And we're going to talk about raid trains in a little while. I'm also pulling back from a majority of the raid trains. And then we talked about $1 start for a raid. Absolutely. So eTardis, you do a sticker and have a raid nut and what a raid inside the raid nut I run for $2. So eTardis, do you really feel that a sticker is going to make people stay for 5 minutes? It's just not. I don't care how good of a sticker it is. It's just not. A lot of people just don't care about stickers. I have CEO affirmation cards and a vintage postcard that you're going to get. A lot of people don't care about that. Absolutely is not going to keep them in touch for 5 minutes. Nobody wants to sit around. Attention spans are like this. Run something for $1. That gives them a chance to get a deal, gives you a chance to make money. It's a far better win-win situation. And by running something for $1 immediately, have it ready. Just have something sitting to the side, have a listing ready to run. By doing that, it also gives them a chance to get to know you and what you sell. Ladybugs, girl, you got that CEO affirmation card. Thank you so much for being here. Mary says, I have been examining my box weights for all shipments for the last 4 auctions and know that almost all are over 5 pounds. So you're continuing, all are over 5 pounds. So you're continuing reduced shipping. So you're giving your customers a good deal there.
Yes, Scuba, England, rub it in, Scuba.
Scuba, I gave him a hard time on your behalf last night. I told him he came up to bed and I was in bed. I'm like, Mexico sucks. So I honestly set those add-ins that people put in a pile and pass them on. I prefer a handwritten thank you note even on the packing slip. Makes sense, and I think of us will follow your lead. I've stopped 50% of my giveaways. And again, I'm not doing giveaways that are, you've got to examine it. I'm not against giveaways, you guys, if that's how you choose to spend your money. But what is your reason for giveaways? Examine your reasoning why you're doing it. Are you doing it because it's a cultural norm on whatnot? Are you doing it because it makes you feel good? Or are you doing it for a marketing reason? I'm going to be completely transparent. The reason we run giveaways is because in our giveaways, I can't advertise this, but we do put one of our rewards cards. My reasoning for giveaways is to hopefully take somebody who comes to my chat show and have them come back to a buying show. It is a marketing tool. It's not because Tracy's so wonderful and kind. I like to think that. I want you to think that, but that's not the purpose of my giveaways. Let's see, what am I missing here? How do you do a discount code? You do a, so I'll show you mine. So I'll show you mine. If no, we're not going there. I swear, I think he's turned into a 12-year-old boy. He's over there saying, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So to do a discount code, I put them on what I call my rewards card. So I have a code on the back. You do a discount code using the coupons feature. So if you're on a computer, under marketing and your seller hub, there's a little tab that says coupons. You go into there and then there's a create coupon button, and that's a discount code. That's a coupon code. Same words. Did you, Melinda, did you say the same thing? I want to go back. I think I'm missing some comments here.
See, I'm not the only one.
So, you just want the coupon card. I never remembered to use them. And that's the thing with coupons. We talked about this weeks ago. I looked at the percentage of people who actually use my coupons, 1.7%. 1.7%. We send out about 900 cards a quarter. 1.7% of people actually redeem them. So when you're thinking about using them, they don't cost you as much as you think they're going to cost you.
Josie,
that's
correct. What you wrote, that's correct.
Aaron says, I recently have been doing a large discount code for first buyers and promoting it nonstop. People seem to love it. Absolutely. You guys always read show notes. Always read your show notes. And everybody's show. Read the show notes because you don't know what they hide in there. Just saying. Okay. Any other questions on that? I'm super excited to go back to doing at least one show with free shipping. I do not use the rewards tiers. I used to, and I don't have anything against them, but I wanted to design something that was 100% my branding, that was fully something that would work for me and my business in the way I wanted it to work. And Whatnot's reward system wasn't cutting it for me. It just wasn't doing the job that I wanted it to do. So that's when we came up with the rewards cards. So we have 9 cards a quarter. So they look like this, different colors each quarter, and they're all numbered. And you'll notice in the show notes that as you start collecting these cards, you can combine different cards for different coupons. So each card itself is worth $2 off. There's a code on the back. But you combine this card and this card on certain days, those 2 codes, and then it's worth a different amount of money. So one card is worth more than just the card itself. You can combine it throughout the year, and the rewards get bigger as the year goes on. That, to me, one, I have my branding going out to everybody. Some people, are they going to throw the cards away? Absolutely, without a doubt. But if not, those cards are getting stuck on a refrigerator or next to your computer or on a desk, and maybe you don't look at it for 2 months, and then you're cleaning off and you're like, oh yeah, Zoe's Treasures. My name comes back up again. So it's serving that purpose as far as marketing and branding goes. And it's also encouraging you to come to my show, check the show notes, and see if you can save money. I have a couple of people who are diligent about keeping the cards, and they're getting free items almost every single show. Good morning, Shalom. I got to message you, Shalom. My husband told me you said made a comment to him yesterday, in a good way, not a bad way. I got to message you about the rate train. So I'm not forgetting you. That's what I'm trying to say. That you're on my list to talk to today. So it's serving a lot of purposes for me. Why are you too new? I'm just curious. Why are you too new? Thank you for your purchases from the bin also. What was that? Okay. Yes, thank you. You guys, if you're just coming into and you missed it earlier, I'm going to pin this one more time. We are finally have our tickets for the PA meetup. So we're just going to pin that down there for a few minutes. And if you click on it, it gives you all the information. You can also go to my website and see all the information, guest speakers, links to them, and everything else. 2 months of selling, and I don't think it's available yet. Is it? I thought coupons were available immediately. Yeah, I could be mistaken. If I am, please tell me, you guys. Does anybody know, are coupons available immediately? I've been on the app for a little bit here, so I don't quite remember if I had them the first month or two. I save all, there you go. Mary says I save all your cards on the fridge. Forget to use them, but you see my name constantly. It's not always about them buying or the money. Sometimes it is just that brand recognition over and over and over again. So they should be available. Yep, you should be able to get your coupons. You guys, coupons were invented in the late 1800s by Coca-Cola. Okay, they have been around for over 100 years. If something has been around for over 100 years and is still in use consistently, there may be something to it. There may be a little bit of thing that's working there. I saw an auction for a fundraiser. What's my opinion? My opinion is they don't belong on Whatnot. I know I'm about to piss a bunch of people off with that comment, but you can get honesty here for sure. I'm going to, Ren, really quick, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to come back to auctions here. In order to create a coupon on your desktop, your laptop computer, go to your seller hub. Once you're in your seller hub, on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a tab that says marketing. Click on that. There'll be a drop down. It says coupons. Click on that and your coupon screen will show up. So in your seller hub. Okay, fundraisers. He's writing me a note. Uh-oh, he got the whiteboard out, you guys. Yes, okay. Fundraisers actually ties into what we were talking about yesterday on our podcast about community. This is a business app. Not a great, can't verify where the funds go. There you go, forgotten memories. That's one of my points right there. As a business owner, which we all are, if you're a seller on this app, you're a business owner selling stuff on Whatnot. Unless you are a registered nonprofit, a 501c3 or another 501 designation, you shouldn't be doing fundraisers here. Those of you who are buying into that and saying, oh, I feel so bad, I want to give money, that is not tax deductible. You're just patting somebody's pocket. That is not tax deductible money. Fundraisers, you can file your 501c3 if you are a nonprofit, but they will start cracking down on you for-profit business doing benefit shows. Absolutely. You can do benefit shows. You can raise money for another thing. Tell you what, setting up a 501c3 is not as easy as it thinks. I used to be a CFO for a nonprofit for many, many years and also worked in an advisory role for other nonprofits. So this is actually a topic that I'm have a lot of experience with and is kind of close to my heart. And I can guarantee you there's probably very, very few legitimate 501c3 businesses on Whatnot. I think Goodwill actually sold on Whatnot for a little bit. So they have a 501c3. But I don't believe, let's just get off of the nonprofits thing. Just as an average seller saying, oh, I'm going to fundraise for such and such. If you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart, that's sweet. How nice of you. But how do I know that money is going to that person? I don't have any proof of that. I don't know you from Adam. Now, maybe if it's your best friend and you're personally familiar with the situation, you may have some information, but I don't know you. I don't know that money's going there. So I question it a lot. The other thing I question is, considering cleaning out 130-year-old church's closet for Whatnot, the church is a 50. Yes, but you're not, and the money's going to you. So if the church wants to clean it out and they're selling stuff, that's still not, the sales of it is different than their nonprofit functions. So it's very different. And if the money's funneling through you, that's your money. Here's the other side of this as a seller. If I say, Bob over here, his house got burned down in a fire and I feel so bad for Bob and I want to raise money for Bob. And I start selling stuff and I'm telling everybody, all the proceeds are going to go to Bob. I'm doing this sale so that I can help Bob. That's still money coming to me. That's still taxable income to me. And then I personally give money to Bob. It's not a write-off to me. I don't get any deduction for it, and I get to pay taxes on it. It doesn't make sense for me to do that. There are charities set up that handle those things. Let Bob set up a GoFundMe. It doesn't benefit anybody to be doing it through Whatnot.
So the question about how do you get more people in my show?
We'll get there.
Yesterday, I posed a question. What do you bring into your show that people will be interested in coming in?
and I'm gonna get to about getting people in your show and keeping them in just 1 second here. SS Vintage. I love when you see people raise money for someone that's hard up, something bad happened, and I'm not diminishing that bad things happen. We all have bad things happen to us in our life, but then you see that person spending money on whatnot. It happens. It happens. I don't. Look, I'm not getting on people for having a kind heart. It just doesn't make sense here. The other side of that is pity shows. How many people are moved for pity shows? When I say pity shows, I mean those thumbnails that say, my car broke down, help me raise money to fix my car. Help me raise money for my washing machine. Help me raise money for my kids' softball. I have a cheerleader. I'm not putting on there, cheer's expensive. I'm not going to put a thumbnail. Help me raise money to keep my kid in cheer. Do you guys feel bad for them? Does that make you want to go in their show? There's been one in the community for like months now. And it irks me every time I see it. I'll tell you what that tells me? You are bad with your money. You're a bad planner. And I know people, some people are just barely making it. Trust me. I had a kid at 17. I know what poor is. I lived poor for a long time. I lived paycheck to paycheck for a long time. I get it. I understand it. But it's up to you to get another job, to get more hours. It's up to you to change your situation. It's not up to you to ask other people to change your situation for you. There's a big difference there. And when you're posting pity shows on whatnot, you're asking me to help you with your bad life choices. And that's not my responsibility. I do not want to buy out of guilt or out of pity. I want to buy because I like the vibe in the room and I like what you're selling. So I'm probably pissing people off, but I am going to be honest about it. I have heard other people also talk about how they don't like pity shows. There you go. Mama says it right there. I mean, and it's not just that. It's the fact that every single person in this room today, every single one of us has some personal thing that either have just gone through, are going through right now, or have a time in our life that we're like, damn, that was really hard. We all have that. That's life. Do you go to your job? Do you go to a 9 to 5 and ask your coworkers to help you buy a new dishwasher?
Good morning,
Why do we do it here? Good morning, Lori. Yeah, we all have stuff we can use help with. Keep that amongst your best buddies. Call your best friend up, and that's who you vent to and cry to, or your family or something like that. It's not a public thing. I think, and this is one of the things I talk about a lot, is that the ease of whatnot removes some of the sense of it being a business, and you'll see a lot more of that. Do you see brick and mortar stores, the owner saying, our freezer broke, and if you keep wanting us to sell ice cream, please donate to my freezer fund over here. You don't really see that. So, okay, no, you're not interrupting. Getting an answer back to you. I do have the coupon option, and I'm new. Good. Glad you have the coupon option. I would suggest using them. Everybody makes their own business choices. I'm a huge proponent of coupons. They don't cost as much as people think. And for the ones that are going to use it, it's a nice little benefit to save money. And you control it. You can control how much they're saving, how much they have to spend to save. So you have power over that coupon. Good morning, Mary. Crystal says, I don't donate to kids standing on the corner raising for sports trips. You want money, wash a car. No kidding, Crystals. Thank you. Thank you. I'm also that cheer mom. My kid is an all-star cheer. It is freaking expensive. It is one of the most expensive sports aside from like travel soccer or travel softball and stuff like that. Those are also very expensive sports. Dance is very expensive. But I am not the mom. The whole cheer thing, like all these parents get together and they're like, let's do fundraisers. Let's sell popcorn and candles and funky blankets. And I'm like, leave me out of that. They're mandatory fundraisers. I'm like, I will write you a check. I am a firm believer that if you cannot afford to put your kid in that sport, then your kid doesn't go in the sport. That's kind of how I feel. And I know that offends people, but if I don't have the money to pay for my child to be in a sport, we're going to find a cheaper sport. We're going to find an alternative activity because I'm not going to ask somebody else to support my child. I'll drop $5 for Girl Scout cookies. It stops there. But you get to eat the cookies. You get a benefit from that. I still think they're overpriced. Coming from an ex-Girl Scout leader, I still think they're overpriced. but at least you get to eat the cookies. You know, you had two daughter out, both of her girls in cheer. So your daughter has girls in cheer, or had girls in cheer. So oh, I'm sure those cookies get smaller every single year. I haven't bought a box of Girl Scout cookies in a couple of years. And did you know? Very off topic. This is so rabbit hole here. Did you know? At least this was the way it was when. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to look at my list here. When I was a Girl Scout leader, and we're talking like 15, 20 years ago, the girls, the troop, actually only got like 50 cents a box at that time. So they were like $5 a box for something, and you only got like 50 cents out of that. Like, it was so much freaking work for everybody involved. The girls, the parents, the Girl Scout leaders, for 50 cents a box. I'm like, whoever thought about that? That was such like an MLM scam right there, Girl Scout cookies, if there ever was one. Like, there's just like minuscule amounts that the troop actually gets. There you go, Crystals. You're like, they got 25 cents. It's still the same deal. I would assume it's still something similar. I'm sure it's changed a bit over the years, but okay. Dogwood. Let's get back to some whatnot business. I do see some pre-bids. We're going to get to those in a minute. I need help setting up the postage for my giveaways. I have it set to ephemera and the lowest weight, but it still prints out a Ground Advantage label. Make sure that your PWE setting is on in your show. So when you're setting up your show and you have your postage options, your shipping options, there's a setting in there at the very top that says PWE. Make sure that toggle is on. And then right there too, I love discounts right underneath your question. There you go. They're saying the same thing, but they also do shipping shows every Monday night. So tonight at 5 o'clock, you can go and see their shipping show. They also have a YouTube that I think explains that. Same name on YouTube. Oh yeah, and that's another good thing. Midwest is, are you using stickers as a category? You absolutely have to do that too to get your PWE. Okay, let's go ahead before we get into talking about something else here. We're going to recap last night's podcast in just a second. Let's do these pre-bids. We have 5 pre-bids showing up there, so let's go ahead and do those pre-bids, and then we will start talking about podcast last night. Just to keep you looking forward to the conversation. Our topic last night was, let me get the exact topic.
Hey everybody, put ducks in the chat. It is time for pre-bids.
Good morning, estate addicts. I'm trying to look at what our topic was. I don't remember the exact way we worded it, but is community hurting your business? Okay. My husband's telling me to shut up and sell. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Let's do this. Let's do this jar. This is from London, England. We have a preserves jar. It is Fortnum, and Mason London preserves jar here. We're going to get the side camera going in just a second so you can actually see it. There we go. It is a ceramic jar. You get a wood lid. You can see it still has the original little sticker down there. Blue and white, so it's beautiful. You can put it on either side. So if you want that wording, which I think is kind of cool. Nice and clean on the inside. Just a tiny bit of dust. That is about to run right now. Stands 4 inches tall. $4.50 shipping today. We'd run 10 seconds. And that's going right now. Thank you so much for your bids. And Dawn, that is going to you. Thank you so much. Let's put that back there. Next up,
On its way to
for
you.
all of our cat people, look at how cool this cat is. This is technically a bookend, but I think it's like a little piece of art that you can put up somewhere. I am not sure of the type of stone that this is. So you're going to have to figure out the stone. It is nice and heavy, really smooth, and I love all the grains in there. It does say India, like made in India or from India on that sticker. It also says it down here that it's from India. But it's such a beautiful cat. And isn't that typical stretchy, what cats do, that stretchy pose that they do? There you go. Thank you, Forgotten Memory. forgotten memories. Let me say your name right. This cat's up and running. We're going to talk about in just a minute, is community building distracting from your business or your sales? Some kind of Southern. Thank you so much. And Shalom, thank you. That is heading to you.
Thank you.
Let's keep going. We have a few more pre-bids here. This bunny is so cute. I got this from our international man of mystery. He is one of a newer source to me, and I am loving the stuff I'm picking up. And so we have this adorable bunny planter. Of course, you have your blue and white, which is, everything. And the inside, can you see the inside? Pretty clean for a planter, so I don't know if anybody's actually used it as a planter. It is so stinking cute. I do not know how vintage this is. Full disclosure. I thought it was just cute, and we're going to bring it to you. And that's running right now. And my comments just froze. I just missed a ton of comments. Thank you, Southern Charm. The perfect place. Good morning to Thrifty Cottage. Shalom. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shalom and Grammy G. I saw you got a Green 13 raid the other day. That was pretty amazing. All right, we have two more items. Both of these are really cool. And I actually got a surprise after this one. So, salt and pepper shakers. These are pretty freaking awesome. Porcelain pigs. If you're just into pigs, if you like these, check this out. So, pink pigs, look at them. They're both the same. Salt and pepper on their head is where the little holes are. They've got the cork stoppers in there. They are in wonderful shape. They are porcelain. I think they are so adorable. I know so many people collect pigs. I didn't realize it. We're going to go ahead and get them running. And let's see who our pig lovers are. Because if we have pig lovers, I've got something else for you. I know the color is really good on this. It's pretty vibrant and not even wore off over the years. PT Grace, thank you so much. That one's heading to you. Let me grab that sticker really quick here, and we will make sure that it is labeled appropriately. All right, for my pig people, for all of you that like pigs, this is a random item. It was not listed. Look at this beauty. Look at this baby right here. This is a Fenton figurine, hand painted and signed. Fenton figurine, so it is glass. Look at that. It has the flowers on there. Look at the little dots on the ears, those eyes. It is the sweetest looking pig. Love what? The signature right here. So we do have a signature of the artist. Of course, I can't read it. Anderson, K. Anderson, I think it is. And right there is very faint. It's probably not going to pick it up. Is the Fenton mark. So it is right there is the Fenton mark. There's the bottom, probably had a Fenton sticker at one time. This guy does not glow. No, he does not glow. I did try it before the show. Absolutely stinking adorable. Stands about 4 inches tall, I'm going to guess. Yep, almost right on the dot. So Fenton glass, we're going to run it for $1, you guys. These things are crazy expensive in the antique stores. And it's a pig that you don't see that often. So that is up and running right now for my pig people. An original hand-painted Fenton. Thank you so much for your bids. And Josie's Junk in the Trunk, congratulations. That is going to you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to do one more pre-bid and then we'll get to talking. I've got to write the label. Thank you. I'm waiting for it to print. My husband's like, nope, Josie's name is always long. You've got to actually write it out. I always forget that with you, Josie, that I got to write your labels. Okay. One more thing, and then we'll talk about, is community hurting your business? You guys, this is the second time you're changing it. Second time I brought this, and the last time I think it just ran under the radar. But this is real Swarovski. So it's a Swarovski crystal, if I'm saying it correctly. It is called the Comet. It is a candle holder. You get the wax candle. I'm going to take it out for really quick. So you have the little candle insert that sits there, but this is Swarovski crystal. It is in mint condition. It is stunning. It looks like a shooting star or a comet going through the sky. You put your candle holder in there and your candle sits in there like that. It is so beautiful, and it is going to run right now. Let me just get my time. There you go, up and running. It is, I think it's really pretty. I love it, and I think with some twinkle lights around it, how beautiful would that be? Melissa, thank you so much. That one's heading to you. Oh, it already printed. I'm like, wait, what happened? He had it in his hand for me already. All right, let's talk some more, you guys. Let's talk about last night's show. So we talked about, is community hurting your business? Before we even get started, one of the questions we talked about last night was community over competition, and we're going to get there. But before we do that, what does community mean to you? When you hear community, because you come on Whatnot and we hear community, like, and this is a social app, so there is some community there. But what does that mean to you? Like, if you had to summarize it in a couple of words, what does it mean? Support from others, supporting each other, yeah. But what does that look like? I'm hoping to see some more answers here on what does community actually mean? Giving back, showing up. Because I think this is where we miss it a lot. Like, what are we actually supporting here? Whatever you said in the podcast. Yes, I agree. I love discounts. Whatever you said, 100%. Generally knowing about others, being nice, working together to meet goals, working the algorithm, celebrating wins, working through losses, finding your people that you can relate to, helping others figure out Whatnot. So the education, I love accountability. Just loosely, a group of people with the same interest, okay? I go buy crap from you, you buy crap from me, and I sell it back to you, and you sell it back to me. It's a big Ponzi scheme. Oh my gosh, is that not what a lot of people, you hit the nail on the head right there, House of Duke. A lot of people think community is, well, I'll buy from you, and then you buy from me, or if I go to your shows, then you come to my shows, right? Shows like this, so like educational chat shows, hanging out with people. And you guys have pretty much summarized a lot of the same points that I was thinking through, because I don't know if we really defined community a whole lot last night. We talked a lot about it, but I don't know if we defined it. I don't think like that. I'll tell you what, a lot of people get butthurt where networking, I want to talk the difference between networking and community, because I think there's two different things there. But a lot of people get on Whatnot, and tell me if you did this. When you first started Whatnot, and you heard community and you saw the clicks, even though we may not have realized they were clicks, we just saw people being friendly to each other, that we thought if we went into somebody's room and hung out and talked, that they would come in our room. Isn't that kind of a misconception that's on Whatnot, that if I do for you, you're going to do for me? Yeah. I think almost everybody has a little bit of that at the very beginning. I think there's some of that in all of us, and we realize, hey, wait, this isn't the way it really is, right? And we should, Josie, we should never expect people to come in our rooms. And speaking of that, I'm going to diverge here just for a second, because I did realize that somebody asked about keeping people in their room, since we're kind of talking about that, and I didn't answer earlier, and I don't want to ignore you because I'm not trying to not answer your questions. When we talk about keeping people in your room, it's not about I do for you and you do for me. It's about what experience am I offering to you. It's more about giving than it is about getting. It's kind of like life, right? The more you give, the more you receive. So when you want people to come to your room, you want people to stay in your room, think about what you're giving. What are you giving as far as value, quality, benefits, service, experience? I'm not talking about what am I giving you for free. I'm not talking about giveaways. So I'm not talking about what do I just give you for free to make you come. I'm talking about what am I giving you in the experience of shopping with me? Am I giving you good products at a good price that are high quality, shipping them safely to you, answering your questions, creating a fun, safe place where you can chat and talk and even disagree safely without fear of being blocked? So when we think about how do you get people to come to your room and stay in your room, think about that. What are you giving? What are you creating that experience about? And that's how I'm going to answer that question. But let's think about that in the forms of community too. It's not nowhere in that is it, okay, now what are you going to give back to me? We should never expect it back. Yes, it's like planting a seed. You have to plant the seed first before you can get the fruit from it. Two things, yourself and your products. That's it. Really, that's all you have. It's yourself, and that's the experience you create. You create that experience, the environment, the vibe, and then what you're selling. All those other things are like just these little compliments to that, right? The reduced free shipping, the dollar starts, the whatever it is, are all these other little pieces, but it really rests on you and your product. My son is a musician and occasionally he'll play some music live while I sell. That's cool. Just as a thank you. See, that's totally cool. You're giving something that nobody expects with not expecting anything in return. To me, that's community. But I think you guys really summed it up. Like some of the notes I had, learning from each other. I think somebody said that. Lifting each other up. I'm pretty sure I saw one of you answer that. Respecting differences. This is huge. And Lysandra from I Love Discounts talked about this last night. Yeah, if you expect the same thing you give, you're going to be disappointed. 100%. 100% you'll be disappointed. You got to give freely without that same, because if I say, oh, I'm going to go in your room and I expect you to come to my room, and people think this. People think that's the way it should be, and it's not. I'm concerned a little about the perception, as you talked about in the podcast. If I stop now going into rooms, people will be like, why? And they may. Crafty Fairies, they may, because you have set the expectation that you're going to be in everybody's room. You now have to change that expectation, and it may be a little bit of a slow road. Clicks scare me. I feel just as socially awkward in clicky chats as I do in person. Oh, Old May New Creations, me too. Sometimes I'm like, that's part of the reason I don't like phone calls a whole lot, is because I don't know what to say a lot of the time. Expect nothing from anybody and you'll never be disappointed. But respecting differences to me is a big one. We're so quick to point out, I'll talk a lot about free shipping, reduced shipping, dollar stars, but I never expect you to do it. I'm going to teach. My goal for you is to know the pros, know the cons, and for you to make a good, educated business decision. Not a business decision because Tracy says to do it or Tracy does it. It's you're educated. You've heard pros and cons. One of our best friends on here sells in completely different style than we do, but it's just how we operate our business and mutual. Exactly. That's how it should be, is mutual respect to each other, respecting the differences, respecting that because you choose to charge full buyer pays all shipping, that's okay. Just as much so as if I'm doing reduced shipping, that those are business strategies and tools that we use to complement the way we've designed our business. It doesn't mean that you're less of or not good enough because we don't do the same thing. And I often see this. There's so many dividing factors on whatnot. Dollar starts, no dollar starts, reduced shipping, no reduced shipping, giveaways, no giveaways, that people get this, they're like at war with each other. And it's like, we don't need to be that way. Your way may work for you and that's okay. And my way works for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment on my hair. Getting started. Do we need a lane of products or just get started and learn on the fly? I'm not sure what you mean.
My answer to your question, Mr. Court, is some companies dedicate resources to market research.
Category, okay.
So you have a market research. Do you have the resources to do market research? And if you do, then that's awesome. And that way you can identify what is the best business, not only the business model, but the product line that you want to offer. But if you don't, then what is it that you're selling? And what you sell, does it fit in any of the categories that Whatnot has established so far?
So, and thank you guys for helping clarify category, style, or type. You should decide on where you starting. Where's your base? Where are you going to emerge on Whatnot? Do you sell vintage decor? Do you sell clothing, women's clothing, men's clothing? So you should have something. If you don't, if you're a little all over, maybe a storage unit or an estate sale category would be the best if you have just a whole wide mix of products. So look at what is it that you have access to. Before you start selling on Whatnot, there's 4 things you should be answering, and hopefully I can remember all 4 off the top of my head. I do have it. It's one of the guides I sell is a very modified business plan, but it's why are you here? What are you going to sell? How are you going to source it? And I forget the last one. But the main question is, what are you going to sell and how are you going to source it? Those are 2 questions you should be able to answer before you even start selling on Whatnot. What are you selling and how do you get it? Because you can clean out your closet and sell clothes and start to establish a customer base, but are you going to be able to buy more clothes? So like, do you have now an avenue to continue to buy those products? So I guess it's kind of yes. My answer to some degree is a yes to your question. But respecting differences, I think is hugely important, and I don't see that happening enough here. Celebrating wins. I think if somebody said celebrating wins, that's part of what community is. Who is it? Natural State of High. Zodi from Natural State of High. She has a show every Friday called For the Win Friday, where that's what her show is about. It's about come and celebrate your win, whatever that win may be, business, personal. That's community. That's lifting each other up. Here's another one. And Lysandra from I Love Discounts pinpointed this last night. So you'll have to go listen to the podcast to actually hear how she said this. And she expanded on this thought a lot, is giving honest feedback. Yes, giving honest feedback to each other. What happens thank you. There's the podcast for you guys to listen to. So if you're not aware, we do a podcast every Sunday night. It's Zoe's Treasures, I Love Discounts, and Greed 13. I Love Discounts, just put it in there. It is on YouTube. It is a live podcast, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time every Sunday, where you can come and ask questions and you get everybody's thoughts on it. You can also go back and see it. So if you're like, hey, this sounds cool, I want to hear the whole conversation, because I'm not telling you all of it here. You can go check it out. There it is right there on the screen. But Lysandra talked last night about giving honest advice. How many times do you guys see the clicks, or even within your own friend group, and somebody maybe is not doing such good shipping practices, or they're doing something else that's against terms of service, but everybody around them is just, oh, you're my friend. We'll let it go. You're my friend. I'm not going to say anything. That's not community. That's not helping your friend. Sometimes a little bit of tough love and honesty is the best thing you can do for somebody. Brushing things under the carpet or not acknowledging bad behavior because they're your friend or in that group is really hurting them and hurting the app. Accountability matters. It does. And we see this all the time. So turning a blind eye is enabling. It is. So giving honest advice is community. It's not people seem to get so offended, but it is actually helpful, and it's part of being in a community. Yes, but to be the only friend that says something, sometimes they take offense. They can't. Look, you guys know me. It's probably one of the reasons you're here, is that I'm very blunt and honest, and I'm going to call things the way I do, and I probably offend people. And it's not intentionally offending, but I'm going to, like when I said earlier, I think fundraising shows are stupid. They are. You shouldn't have them on here. I'm going to say it the way it is, because me pushing things under the carpet and just doing, a blind eye isn't going to help nobody. Acting like I did. It is hard. It is hard. Whatnot is very cliquey, and this has been on my mind recently. For a long time, I've been able to ignore it, but it's become somewhat personal to me, and I'm like, I don't like it. I really don't. It's easy not to be concerned with something if it's not personal, but as soon as it affects you, you're like, oh man, call it like it is. That's right. And then here's what I'm going to say, and I don't want this taken wrong, and I know coming from me, it's going to sound very uppity, but acting professional. I think acting professionally is part of community. And when I say professionally, I do not mean super conservative, suit and tie. That's not what I mean. Professionally, what I mean by that is recognizing that this is a business. And part of that is that respecting the differences of each other, respecting other people's choices for their business is professional behavior. So I was really looking for another word besides professional or professionally. I just couldn't find one that I felt fit that. I've gotten several items in the mail that I just thrown in a box with no protection at all, but I gave 5 stars to the seller, but told them how. So, Eve, that was very kind of you to give 5 stars, even when something wasn't 5-star worthy. Usually for those, the way I handle them, I will tell the seller and I probably just won't review them. I'm kind of that, if I have nothing nice to say, I'm not going to say it at all type thing. I'll tell the seller on the side, hey, maybe you should use some bubble wrap, but improve on packaging. Yeah. See, and I always say, because be polite and professional.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
A lot of people cannot take constructive criticism well.
Oh, estate addicts. Exactly. Constructive criticism. Look at silence is acceptance. This is a term that I have used in my 9-to-5 life for years and years and years. I probably heard it about 15 years ago, and it is stuck in my head. Silence is acceptance. When you see somebody doing something wrong that's hurting the app as a whole or hurting other sellers, and you choose silence, you are choosing acceptance of their behavior. That now, am I encouraging you to go and be whatnot police? No, by no means. Do I think you should message everybody doing something wrong? By no means. But within your friend group, or maybe if it's a brand new seller in their first show and you're like, girl, you probably just are unaware, maybe a message on the side. There's a fine line between whatnot police and not being silent.
PT Grace, I agree. The sandwich technique is a very good one, but still, people have filters. And people will tune out certain things.
Mamas, I agree. I totally agree. And I'll say a word, let a word slip here and there. I think that's also personal preference. And if you choose to talk like a sailor, if you choose to use that language, put the explicit filter on. And I think that's why they have it, is so that the people who don't have little kids in the car or don't mind certain words. There's a couple sellers on here who use the F word a whole lot, but I really like those sellers. But I will also, if I raid, I will make sure I have a warning ahead of time, like, hey, this language may not be up your alley. Here's your time to back out and don't follow the raid if you don't like that. But I think that's where that explicit filter comes in, and I'm very thankful that Whatnot gives us that option, because there's certain shows that I'll listen to by myself or me and my husband, but I don't want my 15-year-old in. There just is. So I just know not to put those people on when I have her in the car with me or sitting in the same room with me. I choose not to, but just because I choose not to use some of those words doesn't mean, again, respecting people's differences, right? Yep, and using Red Chat to send a warning. Now, I'm very careful on Red Chat because it's very distracting. So it depends the urgency of the issue. I'm not going to Red Chat all the time unless it's something that's like, hey, I really need you to read this right this second. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You can, but I can be their shot of whiskey. I like that. You can always switch channels. You can. So you left a train because of language. Keep in mind, I mean, now this is, as a business owner, this is a decision you're making. Know that your language, words are very powerful. Your language can either attract or discourage people. So I agree, but behind the scenes, it's awfully different that friends talk behind each other's. What are we talking about to Josie here? Let me read this. It's better than gossip. I missed. There's a whole conversation I missed. You go for it. But your words, just know that I respect your right to use whatever words that you want to use, but it may not be for everybody. I feel that I'm going to run my business using the least amount of cuss words because I'm casting the widest net possible. I'm going to try to offend the least amount of people. I offend people anyways, but I'm trying to offend the least amount of people that I can. Your words should align with your brand. I love that. That very true. This is your image, right? What they see is what they're going to associate you with What do you want that to be? I talk a lot about your background and the vibe. Are you Dollar General or are you Macy's or Nordstrom's? You get to pick what that vibe is. You create that vibe, and your words are going to be a part of that. So, I mean, are we a bar? Are we a 5-star, elegant Michelin rated restaurant? It's okay. You can choose to be either one. There's not one that's right or wrong. But are you going to have a bar vibe? Are we going to have a, Michelin restaurant vibe? Sometimes I'm Spencer's gifts. Okay. Josie, I just need you to teach me the slang so I can keep up with my kid. So, all right. So what does it not mean? What does community not mean? Who was it last night? Daisy Lane said something last night. And this really stuck out to me, that what community is not. Community is not allowing everybody to promote in your show. That doesn't mean your community. She said that. This is Daisy Lane's message from last night, a comment she made, and I 100% agree. We think that community means being open for everybody's business to be part of our business. That's not community.
Good morning, Swamp Chick.
Hello, Swamp Chick. That's okay. I'll be the dive bar to your Michelin star restaurant.
And good morning, Sassy and Kelly's Place.
Hey, Sassy. Hello, Kelly's Place. Yeah, see, I love this. This is why we're friends. I love discounts, and Zoe's Treasures are friends in real life, but we are very much on the opposite sides of the spectrum. But I think that's why we're friends. One, we can respect the differences in each other, and then two, I think we kind of balance each other out a little bit.
Hey, White Owl.
Hey, I put explicit on for my husband who uses that language more than me. You never know when it's protection for your viewers. Yes. So the thought of allowing people to promote in your show, that's not community. Just because I don't allow it doesn't mean I'm not community minded or community focused. We talked about having to be in everybody's shows. That's not community. Sharing your business secrets. So Crystal's Vintage pointed this out last night. Sharing your business secrets isn't community. Because I don't tell you what my net profit is, or I don't tell you what my gross profit is, doesn't mean that I'm not community focused, or anybody else. It's your business. It's okay to have business secrets. People don't have to share their sources with you. Sharing your sources doesn't mean your community. That's a big one. You hear a lot of new people come on, and you hear it particularly in the Facebook groups. Where do you buy this? Where do you buy that? It's not very effective, and sometimes our business must be the focus. You guys, real quick, I'm going to divert here just for a second because I see we have some new people. If you guys are around the PA area at all, we do have a meetup coming. Tickets are finally for sale today. There's the link to purchase them. All of the information is there, but it's also on my website, zoestreasures.com. There's a link on the website for tickets that brings you right back to what not to buy them. So if you are interested in coming, that ticket amount goes to help pay for the venue. You'll get a continental breakfast, and you will be provided lunch and snacks, water, coffee throughout the day. Morning of education, afternoon of networking. We do hope to see you guys there. So I just wanted to mention that while we have some newcomers to the room. This chat show is community. Thank you. I feel chat shows are community too, for the most part. Not the ones that are picking people apart, but the ones that are respecting differences, encouraging each other, lifting each other up. There you go. There's October 3rd is our meetup, 9 to 3. It is in Harrisburg, PA, close to the airport, close to hotels. Yes, you can buy the tickets here for it. I'm not doing Venmo. I'm not taking it off the app. I'm keeping all ticket sales on the app for your guys' protection and mine, so that everything is on the up and up, and we both get receipts. I will mail you something in the mail showing that you purchased it. Okay, but does allowing people to promote really hurt your show business? I don't understand when people get so upset. Kel's Vintage, let's talk about it. Really quick, we're going to talk about that. I just want to read this other comment I missed. I agree. I do always ask, how long have you been doing this? And love to know if they've been successful or not. It's just kind of a hobby. Learning about each other, 100%. Okay, it does hurt. It does hurt promoting in people's shows. Now, there's an evolution to this promoting thing. When you first come on Whatnot, You want people in your room. You're hurting for people to come in, right? You're hurting for people to come in and to stay. So you're like, yeah, come in, promote. You want people to talk in your chat. Normally, when you're first brand new, your chat's a little bit quieter. They're a little bit not as active because those people are getting to know you and they're not sure what they can and can't say yet. They don't know the vibe. They're feeling all this whole thing out. So new sellers are like, hey, promote your show, because as a new seller, you're trying to get that chat going. You're trying to form a bond with people. As you start growing on Whatnot, as you start moving along, shows like this, I don't mind it as much. I still don't want it because it clutters up my chat, makes it hard for me to actually see the questions people are asking. It's hard enough to keep up with the fast moving chat when it's not cluttered with people promoting their shows. Additionally, during a selling show, that's my show. And I don't care if anybody thinks this is selfish, this is the way it is. When I'm selling, it is my show to sell you something. It's not your time to shine. It's not your show. Now, if I invite you to do that, that's different. You have now been given an invitation to do it. And same with anybody else's show. If it's, like SS Vintage, if I go into SS Vintage room, that's SS Vintage show. It is not my show. It's not to draw attention to myself. You want to chat, because I know we say go into other rooms and network. You want to go into somebody else's show to network, talking to people, encouraging the seller, laughing at their jokes, encouraging other people, saying good grab, or hey, that was a great deal, or oh, that item is so beautiful. That's going to get you further than any promotion in anybody's chat.
Also, Kels Vintage, we'd like to give the opportunity for people that rate into us to do the promotion of their shows. And we like to highlight them in a very special way. Like yesterday, White Owl Craftery gave us a raid. And that's what I do when we get a raid. I recognize the people that come and bring other audience into our show.
Now, this is our opinion. Some people agree with it, and some people are like, nope, I don't want promoting in my show. Other people are like, hey, it's cool, go ahead. Doesn't mean they're going to read out every single one. No, it doesn't mean that either. Some shows are like, you can only promote if you pay us to promote. Everybody is different. Again, I go back to respecting the differences and being okay with those differences. I don't like it in my shows. If I say your name, if I say, hey, look, there's Shalom. Shalom, you guys, she is a good vintage decor seller. She's part of Watering the Seeds community. I highly recommend her. If I say that, it's because I believe it. I don't want people just coming in, dropping your show in here, because I feel that this is my space. And in essence, it makes it like my name is behind that. And it's not. I'm not going to promote everybody. I don't believe in everybody. And so knowing that and being honest about that, you guys can guarantee when I call you out, when I say your name and I tell people to go and see you, it's because I do believe in you. Or I'm doing it in a way to thank you for bringing people to me and believing in me. I've seen people tip the seller who allowed promotion before. To me, that goes into the paid promotion type thing. I did the bless the chats, the sponsorships, that type of thing. I did it for a while. I did it for a couple of shows. The reason I don't do it is because, again, my word matters to me. And I don't want my word to be dependent because somebody paid me. My word is because of my belief, not because of money coming my way. And I'm not throwing shade on the people who do that. That is my personal belief. I had an experience where somebody, when I was doing paid sponsorships, somebody bought one and I went to their chat and I'm like, my heart just sunk. I'm like, I can't back this. But yet they paid me and I had to read it. And that was the end for me. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And it is disrespectful. It's disrespectful just to go in and drop your show. First of all, how many people here actually follow other people when they just drop their shows in the chat? Or if you see them say, can I promote? And then they put it in there. How long? I've been on Whatnot almost 3 years. December will be 3 years. So getting close to 3. Look it. Mostly no, never. Sometimes, very rarely, no, nah. Okay. Sometimes we're getting a lot of people saying, because when you promote in the chat, it's not effective. So, Okay, well, that went down a whole trail there. What else is we're talking about? Does community hurt your business? Is the thought of community affecting your sales or your business in a bad way? Um, what causes you to go follow or shop from someone new? For me, and I would love anybody in the room to answer that question also. I'll give my answer, but I'd love to hear other opinions. What causes you to go follow or shop from someone new? First of all, if I don't know you from Adam, I'm going to see your thumbnail.
Thank you, Moonlight Vintage.
Thank you, Moonlight Vintage. I appreciate you. So first of all, I'm going to see your thumbnail. Is it appealing? Does it make me want to come in? Does your show title? If I don't know you from nothing, that's going to be the first thing I see. So
Hold the horses. Let me give a plug. Let me tell you what I like about a show. Right there, Lori Can Shop. She has a cooking show where she cooks and sells the items that she uses to cook with. So it's a really interesting concept. The vibe is really good. I enjoy the recipes. I go into the show because the vibe is really good and she's a great host. That's what I enjoy from that.
we have some product personality, items, ratings, shipping times. I'm seeing a theme here. Good morning, Medic Girl. I'm trying to see what else people are saying. The way you look, the way you sell the items you sell, how they pack, how fast you ship. Yes, that's Noel. Do I buy much on Whatnot? My fair share. I'm not an excessive spender, but I'm very budget conscious too. Okay, McCourt. We're going to talk about that in a second here. We'll go back to talk about free shipping because I'm actually switching to some free shipping show. Energy, the vibe in the room. What are we getting here? Not one person is saying, I didn't really hear product as much. I heard vibe. I heard experience. What's happening, what's going on. So there's kind of a common theme. What is that vibe that you're doing? What's that experience that you're creating in your show? So if you scroll and look at all the answers that people gave, that's kind of what's making people stay, who you are. I'm going to go to 3 things. We're going to talk about this Sunday night on the podcast. This coming up Sunday, we're talking about how to get people and how to keep people. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And I'm going to take you one further. How do you get them? How do you keep them? And how do you get successful on Whatnot?
Hey, Tiny. That's another great artist. Tiny and TLC Mama Bear. Those are great shows too.
Absolutely.
And Kelly's Place too.
So you want to know the answer to those 3 questions on Whatnot. How do you get people? How do you keep them? And how do you get successful? Commitment, consistency, and discipline. There you go. I just gave you the secret sauce. And not one of those things is external. They all come from within you. So I've just gave you a little sneak preview of next Sunday night from my point of view. There was a bunch of questions I missed. I'm going to try to catch up. If I did miss yours and I don't address it, please throw it back in. The chat was going really, really fast there for a second. Somebody asked about free shipping. I see a lot of free shipping and others who charge shipping. What's the ideal way when starting out? McCourt, you got to figure out what works best for you. My suggestion is do a couple of shows, at minimum 3 or 4 shows where buyer pays all, so that you can have some data to look at and then make an educated decision on what works for your business. Free shipping, reduced shipping, they are tools. They attract buyers. They help people spend more money. If they're not spending on shipping, they have more to spend on your items. So think about it like that. But you need to, my advice is to do a couple of buyer pays all shows so that you get data to make a good business decision on what works for you.
Good morning, Miss Echo.
A seller suggested adding promote, and promotion is forbidden words when setting up your show. If you want, I've done it a couple of times. I quit doing it, and I'm going to take now, if somebody promotes in my show uninvited, to do so as a learning opportunity for them. And I'm going to explain why that doesn't work. So I've quit putting it in there. I quit blocking it so that we can have a learning moments. I try to follow most of my category, then check out the shop and see if I like their stuff. But once personality and vibe does it, that's right. It's the experience. Products are almost secondary on Whatnot. It's the experience that's happening within the show.
SS, you don't need an invitation.
The woven basket. Many of us do that. I listen to Whatnot in my car while driving, not watching. I listen like it's the radio, just like you said. Say them again, please. Commitment, consistency, and discipline. Be committed to your business. Consistency. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Don't cancel shows. Be on time. Consistent language. Consistent show flow. Consistency in everything you do throughout Whatnot. Consistent quality of inventory. Consistent shipping. And then discipline. Discipline to keep it up. Do it when you don't feel like doing it. Do it when you're sick. Do it when you got a headache. Do it when you're happy. Do it when you're sad. Discipline. Those 3 things are that's the secret sauce. I'm telling you, no PDF that I sell, no PDF that somebody else sells, no special program, no book, no rack card, no whatever it is that they're going to call it is going to make you successful on Whatnot. Success depends on you, your commitment, your consistency, and your discipline. Those other things are tools, they're information to use in helping to educate yourself. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not going to make you successful. And if somebody is trying to say, I make so much money and so can you, just do what I do, they're probably full of shit. I'm just telling you, because what they're telling you is their way of doing it. And there's a million ways to Whatnot. Because they found a way to do it that works for them doesn't mean that way is going to work for you. It all comes from within you.
Refound it. That's great. And that's what the question I posed was, is you ask, how do you get people in your room? I ask, what do you bring to your show that makes people want to come in and stay?
Exactly. So, and I'm not here saying don't go buy any of this stuff. Buy what you feel is appropriate. As long as they're following terms of service, they're not doing anything wrong. But don't rely on it that this is going to make you successful, because it's not. It's just not. Comparison is a thief of joy. Absolutely. That's just it too. We talk about this all the time about comparison. We talk about community. Okay, let's move on talking about community. Here's the other thing, and we talked about this last night. We always hear this phrase. Community over competition. Y'all heard it. I think I've heard this a million times in almost 3 years I've been on Whatnot. What does that really mean? What does community over competition really mean to you? Not a good business model. It's a business. Competition is good for businesses. Competition spurs innovation. Competition motivates. I get people to stop in, but they don't stay, still figuring out how to keep them interested. Listening for suggestions. Are you consistent? Do you have the same show, same time, same day, at least once a week, if not more? Do they even know where to find you? What are they finding when they get there? Have you rewatched your shows? Callie, I'm answering your question. Have you rewatched your shows? Is your lighting good? Is your vibe good? Is your product good? Think about everything. Break it down one piece at a time. Something in there is not good. If they're not staying, there's something that's not good. Pageants are competitive. Exactly. And pageants are like a community thing, right? How do people actually become friends on here? I think I've had a hard time keeping up with conversations. The Dusty Doe, I think it's time, and you just start to gravitate towards certain people. People are on here as a business. Community over competition, to me, is this just kind of ambiguous term we all like to phrase and say because it makes you feel good and makes you look really nice because I'm community over competition. I'm sorry. I said it last night and I'll say it again. Every single person selling vintage decor on here is my competition. That does not mean that I don't like you, that I don't respect you, that I don't respect the different ways that we do things, but you're my competition as I am your competition. That's life. Burger King and McDonald's are both really good fast food restaurants. They're competitors. It doesn't mean though, I know, I'm just all riled up today.
Yeah, she's in a roll.
I totally agree about the community over competition. It's BS. Competition is good, but we can have friendly competition. Do you see that at the Olympics, first, second, and third place they get up there? Guess what? They're all trying to beat the hell out of each other, right? All of them, first, second, and third, all wanted to be first. What do they do after they get up there on those podiums? They hug each other. They shake hands. They give high fives. That's community right there. It's those things we were talking about, learning from each other, uplifting each other, celebrating each other's wins. But at the end of the day, it's a business. There is nothing about community on other. There is not. But it also can hurt your business, because what happens is we get this community over competition mindset, and we start to go down this road. Oh, Bob's my friend. He has his show at 7. I'll reschedule my show so Bob can have his show. Hell no, I'm sorry, Bob. I'm going on at 7 whether you're on or not. I'm doing my show in my time. Or we start to say, I need to be on this rate train. I will even send good deals. I see. Yeah, let's see who's going to get that giveaway really quick. Frog and Barrel, congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
I will even send good deals I see in other shows to my buyers. That's part of customer service. And I want to talk about community. We made a distinction. There's community in 2 different ways here on this app. Everybody doesn't get a trophy. It doesn't. Some of the things we get caught up in when this community over competition is, I have to buy from you so you can buy from me. Who said it? Somebody earlier said that that's a whole cycle of, I buy from you, you buy from me. Or it's this, I've got to invite all my friends to this raid train, and then people get butthurt if they're not invited. It's business. It's business. Do your job. Focus on you. Or it's, I got to go in and buy sponsorships from everybody's room because that's what I should be doing as far as community goes. No, you don't. No, you don't. Do you see McDonald's going over and buying a whole bunch of, Whoppers at Burger King? Just so that Burger King will tell people how great the Big Mac is? It's not happening, people. I don't know why people put blinders on and just keep spending money on things in other people's rooms and patting other people's pockets just to get your name called out for 2 minutes. That's not a marketing tool. Do you believe a lot of technical issues during the shows keep people from saying? It can, and I think part of it is how you respond to it and how long they last. If you have a little glitch here or there, I think you can overcome it quickly. If you have a ton of technical issues, yeah, it's going to keep people from, who wants to sit through that?
And for those that I didn't mention, I love a bunch of different shows and a lot of different hosts. CG is one of them. Mm-hmm. Sassy is another one. Live View is another one. The Aaron Sphere, another one. JJ Shopper. I mean, I have endless people that I go and watch.
I love CG's comment. We can be friends, but if you run a crappy show, I'm not inviting you to my train. CG's in the business of selling what she sells on whatnot, but also running trains. Why does she want to put a bad show on her train? It's not a good business decision. At the end of the day, we make decisions for our business, not decisions based on who's going to get butt hurt by my decision. Who do I need to be friendly with? And that's where I see a lot of sellers going off the rails, is that their decisions are based on social norms and socially accepted things and not what's smart for their business.
Give me a minute, because I left one of my favorites. Hold on.
Hey,
Here
everybody.
we go.
Please put bunnies in the chat.
Ooh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Woot woot.
And Eve, Jack, we have technical issues too. I think, again, part of it is how you handle the technical issues and how fast you can recover from them. So I watch a lot of people because I'm learning, and I'm small right now, but I'm also determined. That's what you need to be, determined. There is a question I wanted to answer up here. Let's see. Here it is. McCourt, if you have a lot of ceramics, for instance, do you move through them one after the other or incorporate it through the show amongst other products? You should have a show flow. You should know how you're selling your products. You should sell your products based on how you want people to buy them, how one price influences another. That's called arbitrary cohesion. So you should be lining your products up in your mind in the way that you're going to sell them. There's a whole psychological concepts that flow into your show flow in the order and how you sell your products. If you sell a banger item and you then can sell something completely different, but if you reduce how arbitrary they are to each other, if you can make connections to those items, the price you get on the first item will affect the price you get on the second item. You should always be keeping that in your head when you're displaying items.
Mamas, I wish I could promote every single one. I wish I could. I wish I had the bandwidth to do all that. I can't. And the only way I can is when I see if you're on live, I'll go into your show and stay for a while.
So, Callie, I think you make an interesting statement here that on community that I want to talk about. That might be why I haven't had anyone offer to be my mod or consistently come into my shows, because I don't focus on building my community. I don't agree. You shouldn't be focusing on building your community. You should be focused on building your business. You're here to make money. I assume that you're here to make money. You're a seller on this app to run a business and make money. If you focus on running your business and you are a kind person and you're doing these things, what did we say community was? We defined it. Learning from others, lifting each other up, respecting differences, celebrating each other's wins, giving honest feedback, and acting professionally. While you're doing your business, your community builds itself. When we come on here, this is the problem that we taught. This is the whole core of what we're talking about. We are too focused on building community instead of building our business, and the community happens as a result of building your business. The community over mindset is often a personal offset for not being as good as sales. Community, however, can absolutely elevate your business. I don't agree that community can. I believe networking can. Now, community is good. Having a community is good. Community could be supporting, like those things we just said, lifting each other up, giving honest feedback. If I'm doing something wrong, I Love Discounts will call me in a heartbeat and say, girl, you shouldn't be doing that. That really sucked on your show. And it helps me. It's constructive feedback. It's honest feedback. That's community. Now, networking, and this is where I think we get things confused. You have networking and you have community. Okay. Networking is advertising your business. When we're going into other people's shows and we're not dropping our shows, but we're talking to each other, we're lifting each other up, we're doing some of that, that's networking. Networking builds your business. And I think we confuse networking with community, because what do we tell new sellers? We tell new sellers, go into other people's shows, talk, get known, go into this show, go into that show. That's networking. Do you disagree? Okay, tell me, Josie. I'm all open for disagreements. Totally cool with that. But like Green 13 says, I do feel it's at a disadvantage because I can talk and you guys just have very limited text space. But totally open to opposing opinions. Let's talk about this too. Okay, Tracy, that makes me think of sellers that don't have an anchor show and only sell during raid trains that build community. I don't believe raid trains are a business model. I don't think raid trains are bad, but they're not a business model. If all you do is follow raid trains, you're basing your business on what everybody else's wants are, like what they want you to be, sell this, or everybody else's decision on how you run a show. You need to build your business. Use raid trains as a cherry on top or the icing on it. Use raid trains as something to complement what you're doing in your business. I'm not against them at all, but I don't think they're not a business model in themselves where all you do is raid trains. If you're a raid train chaser, you are fulfilling everybody else's ideas and thoughts for a show and not making your own strategy. And you will not be long. That's not a longevity type plan. And raid trains really are more of a marketing. They're to get your name out there. I have never looked at a raid train as a money-making opportunity. It is a way to get in front of other audiences that I may not normally be in front of. That's why I think cross-category raid trains are some of the most effective raid trains that exist. But not a business, yes. Okay, so we kind of agree on that. I'm looking for Josie, if I missed you. I believe in networking is the key to a lot of businesses. Every profession networks. We talked about this. Outside of this app, you have professional organizations, you have business lunches, you have drinks at 6 o'clock where various professionals go and meet and network. Networking is an absolute tool in business, but that doesn't mean community. There's a far difference between network and community. Community is the building up of everything. Networking is the advertising of your business or the promotion of your business. They're two different things. And I think they often get blurred together on whatnot. I do a 15-minute open category raid train to help others grow. That's great. I mean, I have nothing against raid trains. I just don't think they're a business model. I think they are complementary to your business. I don't hang out with people I network with in real life. Let's see. Speaking of drinks, will you set up a dinner on Saturday? I'm not doing a dinner. Dinners are going to be up to anybody who attends. That way it's a little more free. I am offering, you'll get a continental breakfast. You will get a lunch You'll get continental breakfast, and you'll get lunch. Then there's networking. It ends around 3, so then the afternoon is free for various people to get together and do dinners at their desire. And if you guys did not see it, we do have the PA meetup. Hello, Wishlist Rose. We're going to go ahead and pin this again. All tickets are sold through Whatnot. That way, everybody is on the up and up. You get a receipt, I get a receipt. Nothing's being taken off the app. I want to just make sure that there is nothing looking odd, like I'm moving anything off the app. The information is there. It is also on my website. There's a link to purchase tickets on my website. That link will bring you right back to Whatnot, so you can purchase on Whatnot. I didn't mean pay just if others are staying over and like hanging out. I'm going to leave that to everybody who's there. I'm hoping that we can get a group of people who all want to go out to dinner together. I'm looking forward to that, but I'm just not going to arrange it. It is a meetup. It is the Pennsylvania meetup. So it is for anybody who wants to come, can come, buyers, sellers. As you are 13 or over, you do need a ticket though. So network is always working. Nothing wrong with community to relax. Nothing's wrong with community to relax. And I think meetups are a bit networking and a bit community. It is where friendships start to get built, because sometimes you start to know somebody through the app, and then you go to a meetup, and then you start to build friendships, which builds community there, because those are the people that are going to give you the honest feedback. Those are the people that are going to continually lift you up. But it's also networking. It's also meeting people you've never met before and getting exposed to their businesses, and you exposing your business to them. Wishlist Rose, I would love for you to come. So it is open again to anybody. We are limited to 125 people total. That's just as much as the space will allow. Then those friendships show on Whatnot, and we are called clicks. I think now there are definite clicks on here. Whatnot is like high school. We all say it. We all admit to it. I think what turns into a click when it starts to become bad behavior is acceptable within the clique. When no one in that clique is calling each other out, that becomes detrimental to those people and sellers around them. To me, the word clique has a bad connotation to it. I think we can all be friends. When you start segregating certain people from other people on the app, I think that's dangerous. I think that's cliquey. I often see, and I think everybody probably has their own view on when they look at this, that you'll see clicks and you'll see somebody having bad behavior and it's excused. I Love Discounts talked about this last night. Does it cost, and how do we make it happen? I think you're talking about the meetup. Tickets for the meetup are $28. That does cover your breakfast and your lunch. A small portion of that goes to cover the event fee that I've already had to pay for. I'm dropping the check off today. Actually, I don't say already. I did write it. Can we do free pickup on the meetup? I prefer not to, for me, just because I'm going to have so much other stuff going on. But if you're a seller and you're meeting somebody there and you want to arrange pickup, that's on you. Do your thing. I don't have a problem with it. The cost of a ticket covers continental breakfast, a full lunch, snacks, drinks throughout the day, coffee, juices, water, that type of thing. And a small portion of that goes towards the event fee, to the rental of the fee place that we're having it at. It is being held at a community center. Honestly, guys, look, I haven't hid this at all. I was looking for places to do meetups at. This is not Whatnot sponsored. This is totally private sponsored. We want a bunch of people in Pennsylvania and surrounding areas to come meet up. The location is Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, on October 3rd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then afterwards, it's I'm assuming, like it's been mentioned, people will get to dinner, go out to dinner, do whatever.
Josie, it got red chatted because of the word after terms.
So I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh, I've been completely honest about this. Looking for a place, it is expensive to do meetups. Trying to find a place to accommodate 100, 125 people, I was getting quotes anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000. Now, admittedly, I could be a little bougie, and some of the places I was looking at were very expensive. I found a very reasonably priced community center that has the space and the breakout rooms that we need. We went and toured it. It was clean. It has it's handicap accessible, and it has adequate bathrooms and Wi-Fi. It met all of the qualifications and parking, close to an airport, close to hotels. I'm like, this will do it, and is it a reasonable price? But it cost. And like I said, those people, anybody who sponsors it, if it's not Whatnot sponsored, are paying out of their pocket ahead of time for the services. And that's why I'm charging, because I just can't afford to pay all of it on my own. Um, what is red chatting? The Dusty Doe, not a dumb question whatsoever. If you're new to Whatnot, red chatting is one of those terms that you have to learn about. If you type boobs in the chat, that red chats it. It means only myself and my mods can see what you type into the chat. So it's like a private way to talk with the host and their mods. There's a lot of other words, BBC, boobs, PayPal, will all red chat. You can try it right now. The Dusty Doe, if you want, type anything you want, put the word boobs after it, and then nobody else will see it.
There are certain restricted words that would cause a chat to become a red box. And the seller can choose also to mute a few of those words.
There you go. See? And now, so you can see it and I can see it, but nobody else sees your message. Speaking of the meetup, if you missed it before, Green 13 will be hosting one of our breakouts. I Love Discounts will be hosting a breakout. Dragonfly Neen, which is a little bit newer of a seller, but she is amazing, will be hosting a breakout. I will be hosting a breakout, and we're still deciding and talking about like general sessions, what they're going to be about and what those topics will be on. But if you know those people, if you know I Love Discounts, they're probably doing shipping. I'm probably doing something business-minded, accounting, I don't know. Green 13 will probably talk some psychological type of fact or, something along the selling. So that's the kind of stuff. So morning of education, networking, general sessions. We'll do some type of fun game, get to know you game of some sort. 9 donuts red chatted. It's the nine numbers together. Somebody told me it's like a social security number and that's what picks it up. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I know it does red chat it. Thank you so much, Mel. When a new seller starts, they rely on community for comfort and support. Once some sellers get large, they leave community in the dust. I don't think they leave it in the dust, but let's think about this. The bigger you get, the harder, and I agree with a lot of people. I don't like the term big and small. Casual, it's casual. The meetup's completely casual. Will general session be ran here or on Whatnot? We are going to be running, everything's in person. However, we are working with them and we're looking at using Skylink so that we could broadcast on 3 or 4 different Whatnot channels at the same time. So we really want to bring the Whatnot community together in the sense of if you can't physically attend by locate because it's too far to travel, money, whatever it is, we're hoping to do it in a way that you can attend on Whatnot and not just be like, oh, what happened? So we're looking into that. We think we have a plan for that. I just don't want to say it's for sure until we can test it. Exactly. What is a big seller? What if get to know you games give me anxiety? Oh, trust me, I hate them. Be More Thrifty. I am like an introvert in those things. Whatever I design is going to be very friendly to extroverts, introverts, and everybody else. Keep in mind, I run conferences for a living. That's part of what I do in real life. So I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I love that question. What is a big seller? And that's just it. What is big? I don't consider myself big, but you know what? I consider myself successful because my success is measured by my metrics, not anybody else's definition of success. So I don't like that. You're taking a GLP to work on it. I love that. That's why I don't like the terms big and small. But let's just say the more popular a seller gets, the more that they have hundreds and hundreds of people in their room. I for Beauty said in the comment that they forget about community or leave them in the dust. It becomes difficult the more your name is recognized to go into rooms and not feel like you're disturbing people. By no means do I feel that I am big by any sense of the word. Maybe busier. Yeah, I like that word. Not bigger, but busier. But I do know that there are certain times I'll go into a room and I feel that I distract the seller because they'll stop and be like, oh, Zoe's Treasures and blah, blah, blah. While I'm flattered and I feel that's super kind, I don't want to distract from your selling. I don't want, I love the, oh, hey, Zoe's Treasures, how are you? And keep on selling. I would prefer that much more than you stopping your show to talk about me. Not only is it interrupting you, but it's distracting to the other people in the room and not fair to the other people in the room. So I think what happens is the more recognizable you become or the busier you become, the more high volume you start to maybe go a little more incognito, or it may appear that you're not in rooms as often when probably you really are. There it is. Daisy Lane says, I'm often in shows just incognito. I stay invisible unless I bid. It's for me, it's just a personal preference. I don't, and again, I do not feel that I'm big status by any means, but I don't want to be disruptive to people. When you started out, did you do giveaways? Did you participate in promotions? Did you participate in trainings? 100% on giveaways, yes. I did expensive giveaways. Did I participate in promotions? No. I did not do, and I'm guessing when you say promotions, what not promoted and or sponsored promotions. So the answer is no on both of those. Until recently, I did an experiment with what not promotions. And did I participate in trainings? Yes, I did, and I still do participate in some. I've just become far more selective, and they're farther and fewer between that I participate in them.
Moonlight Vintage, I'm gonna throw someone under the bus. Lysandra from I Love Discounts, she gives good feedback. She's very forward with it, and she's super busy. So send her a message on I Love Discounts _com. She might be able to help.
Hidden Lane, it's a Saturday. I'm so sad. I tried to make the meetup on a Saturday so that the most people could attend. Okay, somebody said, I'm missing a conversation. I would love to catch up on it. Because his and her Chicago says to ThriftWorks, fair, but can you curate 2,000 items a show? So I'm trying to figure out the conversation here because it sounds interesting. I love curated shows. I'm all about curation. So I'm kind of curious about this. Good question. I want to give a good giveaway my first show. Do you save it? The Dusty Dough. Let me just ask you one question. Why do you want to do the giveaway? Let's just get to the root of why do you want to do that giveaway? Let me know. And then we'll talk about it. To pay more for non-unique sold by big sellers. The Lost Ledger, they're not paying. It's not that they're paying more for the non-unique items. They're buying an experience. They're buying. Look, I use House of Coop all the time in a very good way. House of Coop can sell something and I can sell the exact same item. 9 times out of 10 will get more money for it. Why? Because people are buying the notoriety of House of Coop. It's buying an item. It is the same reason why people pay thousands of dollars for a Taylor Swift concert ticket. They're buying the notoriety to say that they bought from them. And that's not bad. They've worked their butts off to get to that point. People look at this, they're like, oh, people are overpaying in big sellers' rooms or in these popular sellers. They've worked to get that. They've built that up. And you know what? The buyers have a choice. They don't have to pay that. It is the buyer's choice. The buyers buying from them see the value in the item and the value in the experience that they're receiving. That's why they choose to pay more. Do I want them to do that for me? Hell yes. You know what I'm going to do? Use that as motivation and be innovative and creative myself to create that experience within my room. They've earned it. Yep. Giveaways don't guarantee buyers are going to stay. They do not.
What Liz likes? Are you still around here? Can you check your DM?
So I'm still waiting for the Dusty Dough. Tell me why you want to do the giveaway. I'm not gonna tell you part. I'd be very nice. I'm just curious why. If someone comes in your show incognito, do they show up in your viewer account at the top of the page? Yes, they do. So that's why sometimes when you start a show, that number may be 3 or 4, but you don't see anybody in the chat because people are there incognito. Just run your show. Don't worry about that number up there. Run your show like there's 1 million people in your room. You're here to do a show. Do it. Because you never know who's watching. And if you go and look at your analytics afterwards, there'll be hundreds of people that came through your show, even if that number only shows 30, 40, 50 people. You'll be completely surprised. Hoping to encourage people to stick around and see the rest of the treasures. What else do you think may help them stick around? And maybe buy the treasures. Do you want them to see it? Do you want people just to stick around and see stuff? Or do you want buyers? What else may encourage somebody to buy something? Not just stick around and see it. That's a good question. Why do giveaways? I do when I'm doing my far and few between PWE giveaways in these shows is marketing. Because part of what you're going to get is a coupon, and I want to take somebody who comes to a chat show and have them come back to a selling show. That's why I do it. I'm purely, it is not because Tracy has this big, huge chart and I'm just doing this freely. It is a marketing tool. For me, the way I use them is as a marketing purpose to get you to come back, the hopes of, to a selling show and give you a reason to come back to that selling show. Low starts and reduced shipping, not for your very first show. Ultimately, yes, I think they're both fantastic tools, not for your first show, if that's what you're asking, Dawn. But absolutely, low starts and reduced shipping are very effective means as a business strategy. I am going to clarify that though. Neither one of those are perfect for everybody. I always say, and I will stick to this, understand the pros and the cons of everything you do. I'm going to tell you what I recommend, what I do, but I'm also going to try to give you as much of an unbiased view on both sides. Your job is to be educated on why something would work, why something would not work, and then make a decision for your business.
Hey, everybody. Put ducks in the chat. It is
You want
time
me
for
to, are you telling me
pre-bids.
to run the items that are there? We have to gain our, hold on. We have to gain our audience trust first by engaging in shipping out orders. You do. Trust, go to last Friday's show. It's on YouTube. I talked about trust. Trust is the cornerstone of what's happening here. First of all, your trust, you have to build trust. People can't, all they can do is see and hear what you're saying. They can't feel the item. They can't smell the item. They can't get, the whole sensory thing. They're trusting, one, that you're describing it appropriately, that you're who you say you are, that you're going to ship it safely, and if there's a problem, that you're going to respond appropriately to their problem. Trust is the absolute core. If you don't have trust in your business, forget ever having a business. It's not going to work. Disclosing flaws. Ruby says, reduced shipping is a lot of work on the back end. With the new ground shipping, reduced may not work for all. Ruby, I'm curious about that statement. Have you run numbers? All right, we're gonna run this stuff while you answer. We're gonna run these few pre-bids so I don't keep people waiting. And then at the end of the show, I have some randoms, and we do that at the very, very end. Let me run these really quick though. We have 3 items we're gonna run while Ruby answers. Not yet. Okay, so if you haven't run numbers, how do you know it's reduced shipping is not going to work? Okay, let's run this one really quick here. We have a porcelain. This thing is unique, you guys. Check out this porcelain wall pocket. First of all, she's gorgeous. Look at that bird. In a month, we start reduced shipping and low starts. Okay, a month in. When should we start? I'll answer you. We'll talk about when to start. So she is a wall pocket. You can hang her up. She probably has been used before, but somewhat clean on the inside there. Absolutely gorgeous porcelain, very unique piece from the 1930s, made in Japan, running right now, $4.50 shipping. It is very unique. I have never seen a wall pocket like this. This is definitely a unique wall pocket. Thank you so much for your bids. We're going to talk in a minute about when do you start reduced shipping and low starts. The bird theory. Thank you so much. I seen a seller. What does it say? A seller say shipping supplies is hurting them when they spent over $6,000 last year. What's normal? All right, we're going to talk about shipping supplies. We're going to talk about reduced shipping, the changes coming up. I do giveaways. I tell the winners that there is no expectation of sticking around to purchasing. Yeah, exactly. Giveaways are a bonus. If somebody gives away something, be happy. Don't expect it. I agree with you. Eye for beauty. We totally agree on something. All right, we're going to run this. Adorable little girl here. She is writing a Dear Santa letter with her puppy. This is Enesco. It is from, what's it called? Yesterday's collection? I can't read it. Yesterday's of Wonder or something. Absolutely beautiful. Enesco. Nothing's wrong with it. It is in wonderful shape. And she's about to run right now. Up and going. Writing her Dear Santa. I was torn. I was going to save this for a Christmas show coming up like in September, October. And I'm like, we'll just put it in this one. She is a little cutie. How many always ask about tax write-offs for manicures, yet complain? Oh my gosh, a sassy vintage chick. I love that. Shalom. Thank you so much. This is going to you. You have just made my point, Sassy. Absolutely made my point right there. You can't buy a box, but you can get an $80 manicure, and then you're going to go complain about it. All right, the last one for now is this gorgeous piece. You guys, first of all, this has hearts on it. Look at this. Can you zoom out? There we go. Look at that. You're going to take me out of the bubble there. I love it. There's hearts on both sides. You get hearts and fruits. This is actually hand painted. It is a gorgeous picture. I love this little like duck face. I don't know why I call it duck face, but it looks like a duck face. It is signed by the artist there. Fully glazed on the inside, fully usable, 9.5 inches tall, and that's running right now. Thank you for your bids. It's your business. Buy a damn box. Oh, you're going to get me fired up, Sassy. Shalom. Thank you. Thank you. Let me put that down there so I don't lose it. Okay. That one didn't print a sticker, but that's okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was waiting. I knew it was coming. So let's talk about these changes. So somebody asked, I'm sorry, I forgot your name already. That's me. Sorry. Somebody asked about or said that, hey, this new stuff is going to change reduce shipping. You know, I so strongly disagree with that comment that starting for my Tuesday shows, I am moving to free shipping on vintage decor on Tuesdays. So that's how strongly I disagree with that statement. If you actually run your numbers, you know who it's going to hurt? Where these shipping changes are going to hurt? If the majority of your boxes are under £1, those rates are increasing in a way that I think it is going to cost you some more money. I think those are the people that need to do some real, looking at their numbers and figuring out their business structure from that, or the business model, the way they're going to set up their shipping. Until you take a look at your numbers and analyze your shipments, I don't want to hear that it's going to hurt you or you can't afford boxes. I know for me in vintage, 95% of my orders fall between 1 and 5 pounds. That means I'm saving $2 per order on 95% of my orders. Guess what? Boxes cost $1 or less on average. So now I'm saving money. I get to buy my boxes. What does it get any better than that? So you can't know that it's going to hurt you. I hear so many people that the sky is falling in the panic about, I got to buy boxes. They should give us free boxes. Nobody can do reduced shipping. I don't believe it. Don't say it until you run your numbers. Run your numbers, and then if you can back up your data and say, no, look, this is actually going to cost me more, then 100% I would agree with you. People are going to be panhandling for boxes on the street. I'm now hoarding brown paper bags. Okay, wait. I was just wondering what was typical and why you wouldn't add that into the price. Hold on. Add what into the price? Okay. I missed the first couple, the Dusty Dough. Are we talking about adding shipping into the price or adding giveaways into the price? Because we had a couple conversations. Let me know what you're referring to so I can try to answer that. It's not about disagreeing. It's about getting you fired. I know. I do get pretty passionate, don't I? Oh, you're responding to someone else. The shipping. Why would I add, if I do dollar starts and reduce shipping, if I then did a show that said, okay, I'm going to do $10 starts and reduce shipping, my buyers are going to see through that in an instant. I'm not trying to bury the shipping cost. The whole goal of reduced shipping is for buyers to spend more money, is to have to spend less on shipping so they spend more on the item, which then offsets my cost. I still am good at the end of the day. So it's not about shifting the cost. My only question is, if flat rate is removed, how will we keep the initial charges hitting if we do max shipping? It does make sense. So legacy vintage, and this is a really good question, and there's a lot of us pondering this. Now, I'm going to say a lot. There are sellers, myself included. Let's see who's going to win this really quick, then I'll finish answering. Honeysuckle, thank you so much for being here. Myself included, who on the front end, we use one standard weight for all of our items because that controls the cost. We do flat rate shipping for under 5, or flat rate for 1 to 5, flat rate for over 5, and that caps us from being charged more than $9.21 during a show. So how to make that happen when that goes away after the show is a very good question. I'm running projections now, and I plan on sharing them before we get to the end of July. Your conversation. Well, I'm sorry, I'm holding you up. Just keep it on the side. And I'm running projections now, and this is what I encourage everybody to do, is to look at what you're spending, or look at the shipping cost, and get a spreadsheet out or use a pen and paper and say, okay, if it wasn't 8 to 11 ounces or whatever you're using, if I set it at this weight, what would that look like? And that's the only way we're going to make an educated decision. And then honestly, there may be some trial and error for the first couple of shows in August. Right now, I'm going to stay right where I'm at. I use 8 to 11 on the front end. And then I will change it on the back end to be exact so that I'm paying what I should be paying and meeting all the rules. No, I totally agree. It's a good question. I wish I had an exact answer for you. And I think it's also going to look different depending on what you sell.
Don't get in trouble. You can always go back and rewatch.
Yep, and it's like what I Love Discount says. I'm not advising anyone on that until after the changes and we've tried different things to see what works. I'm running numbers now based on what I do and how my business looks so that I could hopefully the first couple of shows have a good idea what I'm doing. But I think it's going to be a little bit of trial and error there. I think people are probably going to go towards lower weights to control it. I don't know 100% yet. Do you think it's okay to have shows with different styles or does it hurt you? Should you stick to one style per se? When you say styles, what do you mean? I think your experience you create should be pretty much the same from show to show to show. You want your buyers to know what to expect when they come to you. So if you're talking styles like you do a random poll and you do pre-listed, I think that's fine if you have different shows on different days that they know what to expect. We do flat rate shipping and it costs us $30 to $50 per show. I'm totally cool with paying 50 with, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. So, and we do, I'm always transparent with the shipping costs that we do. At $4.50, I pay about 15% of my profit into shipping. However, I'm getting a 25 to 30% return in increased sales that offsets that 15% that I pay in shipping. It's well worth it to me. I'm making more money that pays for the shipping. So this is why I say understand your numbers before you make a decision to do this so that you can see, hey, if I do reduce, is it generating more sales that cover the cost of that? This shipping change has caused a big stir than when we thought it has. Oh my gosh, it has. I think it is like Y2K. And here's the thing on boxes. You guys heard me rant on this before, but I'm going to say it one more time. You are, and Sassy said it up there too. You are a business. Buy your own freaking boxes. Now, I have no problem with reusing a box. If it comes in my house, I'll reuse it if it's usable, if it's in good enough condition that I think it's safe to ship my items in. But am I going to go to every single Dollar General and every church and every grocery store and beg for boxes and dumpster dive for boxes? Hell no, because my time is worth far more than that. I would rather take that hour, 2 hours and run a show and make enough money to buy my boxes than I would go and try to collect free ones. So if you want to go and collect free ones, that's on you. Again, it's a business decision you would make, but also think about what is the best and most efficient use of your time. That's a huge offset. Are you better selling and making money to buy the boxes? I'm still so small, I weigh each item when I load it. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. If you set it up correctly in the front end, it's going to ship correctly on the back end. Plenty of people say that, and I couldn't agree more. I cannot do max shipping yet to offset the cost. I wouldn't totally agree with that. I would not totally agree with that unless you can show me your numbers. And I'm not asking you to. Sellers are telling people to go to hospitals. Oh my goodness. Just buy boxes. It is a part of your business expense. It's part of running a business. Boxes. You decided to become an online reseller. Online is the key word there. Unless you do solely local pickup, unless you're on Facebook Marketplace, then you should expect that you have to ship things. That should have been part of your business plan and thought through as part of your business expenses. If it's not, too bad for you. That's on you that you didn't think about it. It is nobody's job to supply you with boxes. Nobody's job. It's your job as a business owner. Like Hollywood Arena versus Primitive Hidden Lane, I do too. Okay, so Dusty Doe, so you're talking about different styles. So you're talking curated shows. I think curated shows are highly effective for the purpose of that I can do a vintage variety and any one item I show, here's everybody in my room, any one item I show, it shrinks on who would be interested. When I do a curated show and I'm doing primitive, I know, guess who's coming to my room? people who like primitive, because people looking for MCM are probably going to go to somebody else's show who's selling MCM. So the more curated your show is, the more targeted your audience will become. Does that mean that's the only style of show that works? Absolutely not. I think it is an effective style mixed in a bigger basket of what you're doing that can work very, very good. If shipping doesn't thin the herd, then all these sellers stealing boxes sent in jailbird. Will, I love it. What is the business plan I speak of? Where are we supposed to have a plan? Just on a napkin. On a napkin, just no. When I honestly, though, his and her Chicago, I know you're joking, but when I talk business plan, I think it's very simple. I know that I have a very businessy kind of I'm way over here on the straight and narrow. I don't believe in a big old 15 tab 30-page business plan. There's 4 questions. For life of me, I couldn't remember the 4th one, but it's why are you doing this? What is your why? What is your ultimate goal here? What's your ultimate goal? What are you going to sell? What are you going to sell? How are you going to source it? And how are you going to sell it? Those are 4 questions that form the base of a business plan, that even if you just think through it in your head, those are 4 things you really should consider when you're getting started here on Whatnot. And if you haven't thought about it, maybe think about it again, because those are guideposts. Those kind of guide your strategy. Those set the initial putting you in motion. All right, you guys, we have been on for a long time. It is a work day for me. My time off is over. So we're going to run the rest of what I have, and we are switching over to our selling side. I'll still try to answer questions in between. But what do you tell me? We're gonna run some stuff, and then we're gonna go raid. But y'all stick around, still ask questions. Buy low, sell high. There you go. That's the ultimate plan. As long as you do that, I agree. That is an absolute perfect part to have it. Much legacy. I hope you stick around and come back. Let's go ahead and run through a few random items. I did promise some random items today. So at the end of these shows, I do like to wrap up with some randoms. So if you like some good deals today, let's see what we have. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and run these salt and pepper snails. They are adorable. So we are kind of wrapping up the chat side, and we're going to move over to our little bit of selling, because it is a chat and sell. We're going to get to that. Let's take a look at our snails. These are salt and pepper shakers. They've got their little stoppers on the bottom. Are they not the most adorable? They have flowers on their backs. Ceramic. They are so cute. We're going to run it right now. 10 seconds. Up and running. Now I'm all spiced. Good, I'm glad you're spiced up. Go get them. Go get them. Thank you so much for your bids. Tober, congratulations. Those are going to you.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to put those aside for a second. It's not printing. Okay. I'm just going to, sorry, you guys, my label printer didn't print. I need to label that really quick so I can make sure it gets to you and it doesn't get mixed up. Okay. What's next here? Let's do the whale. The whale. We're talking about being confident, taking over the world. You're going to be the whale right here. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Blue whale paperweight. I love it. And the fins are even just a tad bit different. Look at those. Can we switch cameras, please? I got it. Thank you. I want to play the Jeopardy music. Uh-oh, he's showing you his whale butt. Okay, there we go. It is a whale, cobalt blue paperweight, stunning piece, about 3 inches long, running right now. So the label printer that we use, my husband has an add-on. So if you're familiar with Notbot, it's like Notbot, probably doesn't do as much, but he wrote an add-on that's like a file extension that every time something sells, it automatically prints a label with the person's name and the title of the item and the date. So like this one, it says Shalom. Oh, you want to switch it back? I was trying to show the label. So it will automatically print the label for me. Message my husband. So Zoe's T Mod, can you put your thing in there? Do you have a brother? They want to know if you have a brother. Let's take a look at this carnival piece. Look at how gorgeous this one is. Think about on your dresser, like using this not as a regular bowl, but to put some jewelry or something in. It is so beautiful. Look at the rainbow on there. And I love this kind of like this crackly look going all the way around it. It is a stunning piece of glass. And of course, the carnival glass is always so beautiful with the rainbow colors. Mel and Stella, I cannot wait for tonight either. You guys, if you have not heard, tonight is our season 2 CEO showcase event. It is the kickoff where you get to meet all of the sellers. So it starts at 6:15 tonight, right here on Zoe's Treasures, and we'll run through about 8:30. But you'll get to meet all of our season 2 contestants, not contestants. I don't like that word. Participants. So, PT Grace, that is all my husband's setup. We run on 7 different cameras. So he runs it all through his computer system. Tober, thank you so much. Let's see what else we have. I pulled out a few things here. We have, so these ones, unfortunately, you know, sometimes payments fail. So these were actually purchased like 2 weeks ago, and then the payment didn't go through, and I had them all wrapped up. So now they get to their second chance to come back to you guys. There is a call out. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Pink depression glass salt and pepper shakers. The bottom of this one, there is a little chippy, where is it? Right here on the very bottom, right there. That is the only call out. They are gorgeous though. They do have a little bit of tarnish going around that silver plate at the top, but they are so pretty for your pink depression glass. They're running right now. Can we suggest to Whatnot for them to consult with Noah for future upgrades? I would love that. If you come to our podcast, we always talk about things we want. We have a whole list of upgrades that we would love Whatnot to do.
Couture Karma. I was talking to someone yesterday about some stuff, and the ideas were really flowing, really good.
Tober, thank you so much. These beautiful salt and pepper shakers are going to you.
Thank you.
We have a couple more things we haven't run yet. Let's do this one. Have you seen or heard about the clear glass craze that's going around? It is everywhere. Some celebrity had clear glass. Now everybody wants it. And honestly, how could you not? Look at how gorgeous this is. You got your diamond point. You have your 4 feet. And then you have that lace edge all around the top. This is in beautiful shape. Think about the elegance of putting your toothbrushes in something like this. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and run it. Absolutely gorgeous piece of clear glass, 5 inches tall. Clear glass is making a comeback, you guys. It is taking over. Like, go to Pinterest, go to any of those like places you see it. Shalom, thank you so much. It is so much so that I am buying more and more.
Thank
I
you.
actually was talking to antique booth vendor the other day who specializes in glass, and they're seeing the same thing. Yes, Eye for Beauty. There you go. It is a blank canvas. I totally agree. I know, and it has feet. Everything's better with feet. All right, let's see. Now we're going to move on to lavender. How many times do you guys see lavender glass? This is so pretty. If you like baskets, look at this beauty. It is lavender. That's just like a scuff. That is not a crack. How absolutely pretty is this? So soft. And I love to use the word soft with glass because they contradict each other, the word glass and soft. But this is such a soft looking piece. It is absolutely gorgeous. Thank you for your bids. You're kind of crazy about the hens in the nest. I think they're gorgeous. I don't actually own a hen on the nest. I've sold quite a few. MK Roberts, thank you so much. I am very disappointed. Does anybody agree with me that they are disappointed with the influx of imports on hens on the nest? Do I have any people who agree with that? Let me know. Yes? Okay, good. Thank you. Because there are a lot of people on Whatnot who do sell the imports. Now, to their credit, I don't mind so much if they say it's an import. If they disclose that it's an import, I'm like, okay, you go, girl. You're being honest. But when they don't say it, that starts to bug me. Okay, it's the Big Apple. Literally the Big Apple right here. It is a apple paperweight. Of course, we have that gorgeous frosted that creates the New York skyline. Do we have any New York people here? What a cool concept this is. Whoever thought about this is a little more ingenious than I am. It is running right now. It is nice and thick, very heavy. You can have your own Big Apple, just like that. Kelly's Place, thank you so much. That one's heading to you. All right, let's see. I'm trying to read the screen. I'm like, what does that say? I do love a lot of the older clear. Me too. Yes. Your pocketbook may be in trouble. I'm bringing it more and more, you guys. This Saturday is my Timeless and Elegant show, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. And a lot of it is glass and very high-end porcelain. I've got some gorgeous, gorgeous pieces coming on Saturday. I hope to have it loaded by like Thursday, at least a preview of what's coming. All right, we've got about 2 or 3 more pieces left. Oh, we're going this way. This is actually a Canadian pottery. So it's a piece of pottery. First of all, it's purple. How often do you see purple pottery? That's pretty cool in itself. Nice little trinket tray. Signed by the artist, and it's from Canada. Not something I see a lot. Shalom, yeah, a lot of that clear glass glows. We're going to go ahead and run this purple piece of pottery, original Canadian piece of art there. That is my favorite. Clear glass that glows is my absolute favorite because it's like, you see how beautiful it is, and then it packs that extra little surprise that you don't expect. The Lost Ledger, thank you so much. I do once a month, if you're not familiar with it, once a month I do a glowy glass show, and that's all that's in the whole show is glowy glass. And I try to have a mix of all different color glass, and I'm always on the hunt for the most unique pieces I can find. But I do always have a very good selection of clear glass that glows in that show. Okay, we have 2 more items. Two more before we end for the day. This next piece, if you're a creamer lover, there are so many people that collect creamers. Look at this one. How stunning. It looks like a seashell and a flower all mixed together in one. There's a marking on it, but I can't quite make it out. It looks like a hole to me. I can't guarantee 100%. It's reminiscent of that, so I'm going to say hole style. Absolutely beautiful creamer. In great shape. We're running it right now. Up and going. If you collect, I would have put this in my crazy creamer show. To me, this is a crazy creamer because it's not your typical McCoy, possibly McCoy. Yeah, it's hard to say. The mark is so faint that it's hard to read. Possibly that might be a C for McCoy. The Bird Theory, thank you so much. My glowy glass show is the 16th.
Thank you.
Is it the 16th? I don't remember what day it is. I do it once a month. So we were talking about curated shows earlier. I forget what day, the 18th? The 18th. I do it once a month. It's usually the third Saturday of the month. Earlier, I'm just going to divert really quick before we do the last item. I usually, we're talking about curated shows. Now, I do 4 curated shows, and I do them over and over and over. So every Saturday is a different curated show. Why this works for me, one, like I said before, it draws the people who want those type of items. So primitive, glowy glass, warm embrace, which is your woods and your neutrals. I'm changing the name on that. And elegant and timeless. I love it because the way I also source and organize my inventory is that same manner. So I can quickly look at my glowy glass shelf and know if I need to source more for the upcoming show just by a quick glance. So it works for me to do that. And then in between, I will do mixed vintage type shows to kind of catch all the other little types of aesthetics. Just shipped out 4 boxes of clear glass to 1 buyer. Well, congratulations. See, max shipping works. Just saying. All right, our last item of the day is this beautiful bell. If you are a bell collector, look at this cranberry glass, 8 inches tall, and it rings. Hold on, I hate the sound of bells. There you go. You can hear it. Do you like the word? It's actually one of my favorites, but I think the name is confusing people, mamas. We're gonna run the bell. You heard it. It rings. It's in great condition, and it's running right now. No one was bidding against her. Well, she got some great deals then. And you know what, though, PT Grace? You probably just got a really good lifelong customer, too. Tabitha, thank you. And that's a first purchase. Can everybody throw some ducks in the chat for Tabitha? All right, there we go. With that, I think we have sold everything we were trying to sell today. And we've talked about all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to go to work. I got to do my 9 to 5, you know, the thing that keeps the roof over my head. You guys, please, please, please spread the word on the PA meetup. They can come to any of the shows in the marketplace. They just search it. They can also go to my website to buy tickets. It'll just bring them back to what not to buy. Please spread the word. It's the only way it's going to get out there if we are all talking about it. So if you've already bought a ticket, thank you. Tell your friends, bring somebody else along with you, and let's have a good time. I look forward to catching up and seeing all of you there. And with that, don't forget tonight, CEO Challenge Season 2 Showcase starts at 6:15 right here at Zoe's Treasures. We'll see you then. And we're going to go see Liz.